got a robot that can run faster than Usain Bolt.
But how much faster?
Slightly.
Yeah.
Slightly faster.
Yeah. By the way, Usain Bolt looks a lot better, a lot more swag than that little piece of iron.
No, he can't stop. Stopping is a problem.
And when his feet start going right there, right after, it reminds me of like Scooby-Doo. I feel like I need the sound effect there.
You ever walked out on ice on the driveway, though, and you start to fall, and you start doing your feet like that, and you realize,
no saving it.
I might as well go ahead and just fall professionally here, land on a fatty part.
2-3 years ago, I was running a Grubhub delivery from a local pizza place, and the ground was icy outside, and I hit that full-on Home Alone slip on the ice with the pizza. And the pizza went up, and
of course it did.
Did you lose the pizza, or did you have to go back in?
So it flipped upside down in the box. So I just flipped it back over and delivered it.
Yeah, you never notice things like that. Yeah,
I would have cussed you.
Oh, I know.
8 days till Sunday.
Bad tip. By the way,
isn't the liability on the homeowner at that point?
It's true. I'm just glad you're not suing
driveway.
Well, no, this was outside the pizza place. So this was before I even got in the car to go to the customer.
Corporately owned.
Yeah, but he delivered my pizza that had been upside down on the ground.
Unitree has not shown an entire video of a 100-meter race, so it should be pointed out. We don't know for a fact this robot can do the whole.
Nor do I
100
care.
Yeah.
Like I'm never. I mark this down. I will never go to a sporting event to watch robots race.
The Robot Olympics.
I think the fear is the robot is chasing you. Now you can't outrun it.
Mark this down. If we're in a world where robots are chasing us, I will not try to outrun them.
Just kill me. Kill me now.
I will stand in the way to allow you guys to escape.
Thank you, Jim. I will sacrifice myself.
I kind of feel like this one might be easy to trip.
Yeah. A monkey that escaped from a Scottish wildlife park sparked a search involving thermal imaging drones, only to eventually return to the enclosure himself. 5-year-old Japanese macaw, Luca, escaped.
Macaque.
5-year-old Japanese macaque. I like macaw better, but macaque. Luca.
Macaw is a bird.
Oh, yeah, it's true. Am I putting too much emphasis on the cock?
Never.
Macaque. The 5-year-old Japanese.
Say never.
That's a great line. 5-year-old Japanese macaque Luke escaped overnight from the Highland Wildlife Park August 16th. The Royal Zoology Society of Scotland, which runs the park, launched a search after Luca was last seen in the nearby Ballaville area. Staff used several methods to try to track him down, including a drone fitted with thermal imaging technology.
That's Brown's favorite city, Ballville.
Ballville, Macaca. Later on October 17th, the park announced that Luca had safely returned to the habitat on his own.
Have you realized yet that we created this story AI just to catch you in all your favorite
Probably
things?
So, yes. Ballville and Macaca.
Yep.
That's a well-trained monkey, though, that he found his way back home. Good for him.
Are you announcing your new podcast?
Yep. Ballville?
No. Cock and Balls.
I am not.
It's a South Carolina podcast, isn't it?
Cock and Balls. That's a pretty good one, actually, yeah. We talked about all South Carolina sports. What about women's basketball? Oh, no. That's a different podcast.
I mean, it seems like something Chris Marler should do, right?
Yeah, Cock and Balls, South Carolina
Welcome
sports.
into the Cock and Balls podcast.
Oh, I thought it was something totally different. Police in Philadelphia are searching for a masked individual, not the Brown Bandit. A masked individual accused of scaring multiple people while wearing the face covering resembling horror character.
Next Round hoodies and Next Round hats all in one place, nextround.store. Find your favorite piece of gear from your favorite show and put it in your rotation. You never know, you might be in one of our videos showing Next Round gear being worn all over the world. Find all of your favorite Next Round gear by visiting nextround.store. Place an order for you and that big Next Round fan in your life at nextround.store. Look your best at work, at school, at the stadium, or anywhere you go wearing Next Round gear from nextround.store.
When you trust a doctor with your life, they owe you proper care. If medical negligence left you or a loved one injured, you deserve answers and compensation. Alexander Shunnarah trial attorneys have recovered over $2 billion for their clients harmed by medical errors, misdiagnoses, and surgical mistakes. They fight hospitals and insurance companies so you can focus on healing. Don't wait. Medical malpractice cases have strict deadlines in Alabama. Call Alexander Shunnarah trial attorneys now for a free consultation. 659-777-7777 or alexwins.law. You pay nothing unless they win. Physical office location, Birmingham.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Boy, so many NFL players coming back. We'll ask the question, is there still a rule? Are there any rules? We'll ask the question on the show today. Is there still that rule that if you leave an SEC school, you can't go to another SEC school if you do it outside of the winter portal? Is that still a rule? We'll talk about it later on. Greg Sankey's on the record again in an affidavit, not just against Alabama. This time he's standing up for the integrity of the game with LSU and some others. So we'll talk that later on because, man, there are a lot of people saying that it could be 50, 100 players coming back from NFL camps over the next couple of days. We've got Alabama quarterback and their scrimmage reactions coming up. We've got Todd McShay on the Brandon Walker College Football Show saying that this is going to be the college football quarterback utopia this year, the greatest year of quarterback play in college football history. We'll get into that. But the thing that everybody who follows football seems to be talking about today is not an NFL game last night. It's not a college player. Yet. It is a Tennessee commitment, a high school player who made his 2026 debut. If you haven't seen him, here he is, David Gabriel Georges. He's Spider-Man, lands on his feet there. Now, this is against another nationally ranked high school team. He plays for Baker in Chattanooga, where the game was played last night. Doesn't even need a helmet. He's Iron Man.
Baylor, not Baker.
Oh, did I say Baker? I'm sorry. It is Baylor there in Chattanooga playing Brentwood. Scores the touchdown here. Here's his stat line last night. Again, a nationally ranked opponent in Brentwood.
Right.
255 all-purpose yards, 217 rushing, 37 receiving. The balance to get flipped over and continue to run. Catch the ball in space and run with it. Everyone's talking about DGG. Just throw an O in there and you got a dog.
I mean, he ain't going to be a dog.
Yeah.
He's going to be a Vol. I mean, running with his helmet off.
And we've shown the picture earlier before when he committed. The guy's so cut up. And I ask you the question, Forrester, who popped to mind? The hype around this guy, high school-wise, who popped to mind for you?
Well, different body type. Derrick Henry was certainly bigger, but just as far as the difficulty of the opponent in bringing him down, Derrick Henry.
And just everyone talking about highlights. I mean, these clips, and it was a TV broadcast too, so there are other clips floating around on ESPN broadcast imaging. But I was amazed that so many people were talking about a high school game last night. But this, not Fernando Mendoza, not the 49ers beating the Chargers. The football world was talking about this kid last night.
I mean, he does look amazing. Now, look. Tennessee fans nobody's more excited about this guy than Clay. Clay Travis is going to have this guy be the next Herschel Walker, but before he ever plays in Tennessee. And the kid is good. Like, I mean, you watch that and you can tell, obviously, this is a really, really good football player. But all too often, I mean, I want to say on the caution, all too often, high school performance does not directly relate to college football performance.
Oh, I understand that.
I'm afraid this guy is going to become the who was the 30 for 30 guy that was supposed to be the best player ever to play running back. He went to Oklahoma.
Dupree.
Marcus Dupree. I'm afraid
Dupree.
Marcus
Dupree was great at Oklahoma the 1 year he played or 2 years he played.
Yeah, but I mean, he ended up at Southern Miss, and then he ended up not flaming out in the NFL. I'm just saying. His career peaked in maybe early Oklahoma. I'm just saying this can happen. You can also have Derrick Henry. This kid could be Derrick Henry, who put up numbers at Yulee High School in Florida that we've never seen, and it translated to college, and then it translated to the NFL.
Well, that's why I brought up, when Forrester said Derrick Henry, it's not as much how he runs as Forrester says. It's just in the YouTube era, we all saw Derrick Henry highlights before Derrick Henry even committed to Alabama. We were like, who is this beast that is that a linebacker that has picked up a fumble and is running down? No, it's a handoff to a running back. And remember, people were saying he'll never play running back at Alabama. They'll move him to linebacker or edge rusher.
That was me.
Yeah.
That was me saying that. I'm like, you think Nick Saban Nick Saban likes these small, compact backs like Mark Ingram and Trent Richardson. You think he's going to play a guy that size on offense? You're kidding me. Yeah. He'll make him a Hall of Fame middle linebacker.
So YouTube in the era of digital, everything's on our phones. This guy's going to be a superstar this year. Already committed to Tennessee. And this is against a quality opponent. Imagine when they start just playing average teams, what kind of highlight reel he'll put up there. Before all of this, Bo Jackson was this for me. Bo Jackson in high school, you couldn't tackle him. He was a legend. I played against him in high school baseball. He didn't use the gate when he came out of the dugout to go into the field between innings. He basically one-hopped over the chain link fence to go out to shortstop to play. He didn't use the gate to come out of the dugout. He just jumped over the chain link fence. He was if Bo Jackson had grown up in the YouTube, Twitter, Instagram world,
yes,
he would be what this guy's going to be this year. Brooks, I don't know if you have a high school football guy that pops to mind for you. We saw tons of them in the 80s and the 90s, but now everybody's got a camera. Crap, I did a high school broadcast last night. It seems like every high school game is on some digital platform or ESPN every night.
Yeah, and for me, when I was coming up through, like, my freshman year of high school was 2007, so YouTube had, like, kind of just started at that point. And I could remember seeing highlight clips of he'd already come through high school at this point, but someone uploaded and it went viral back then of Reggie Bush playing high school football.
Oh, yeah, good call.
His highlight reel was incredible. But at the time that I was in high school, Noel Devine was the absolute most ridiculous highlight reel. Go look it up on YouTube if you
where did he play?
I know
he went to West Virginia, but where did he play high school?
God, I can't remember where he played.
Okay.
I'd have to Google it real quick.
No, you don't have to. I thought you knew.
He was incredible. And I could remember people in high school saying, like, I'm going to be the next Noel Devine, which was a ridiculous statement, but especially for a bunch of white boys in Northwest Georgia. But, his highlight reel was incredible. And then Jadeveon Clowney also had an incredible high school highlight reel.
Was it back in more in our generation, was it Robert Evans at Homewood that went to LSU?
Oh, yeah. He was a freak.
Yeah, he was a stud at Homewood. You remember how good he was at Homewood? Yes. And it just never worked out at LSU. Now, I don't know that he was this level today.
I feel like what I hear more so at growing up in high school football a lot before this film era of where more and more high school was stuff was on film, you heard more kind of folklore, like, of guys who were incredible. And, like, I wish we had
David
film.
Palmer is a guy I thought you were about to say.
Oh, no, but I was going to ask, I mean, like, I've heard just tales and tales of guys where I grew up in Georgia that were incredible, but there's not really film to go with it.
Well, it helped that David Palmer played in the city of Birmingham because it was very easy for your cameras at NBC 13 and Fox 6 to get over there and show him. And he was on the highlights. I mean, it was – y'all covered those games no matter what because he was going to give you a highlight in one of those games.
And if you're watching us in Tennessee and Mississippi and Louisiana and Georgia, wherever, that is absolutely – you have those high school stories from your states as well.
Everybody's got one.
Yeah. So,
but a lot of them are off the beaten path schools, guys like David Palmer. Like Julio Jones, he played at Foley, which is not a small area. Foley's not, and it's very close to Mobile. I didn't see a ton of Julio Jones highlights before he got to Alabama, but like Brooks said, there was the lore of this Julio Jones guy. He's cut different.
Yeah. I don't follow recruiting.
I don't really either.
So I don't go to nothing against On 3 or 247. The work they put in is unbelievable. All the videos they've got and the write-ups they have, it's all unbelievable. But for a high school player to jump into my timeline, because I don't follow recruiting, that says something. And DGG did that last night because not just every high school guy is popping into my timeline. And I'm in the middle of a game last night. I'm getting texted from friends. Damien, who watches and listens to our show, texted me in the middle of the game I'm doing between Vestavia and Parker, and he's like, this DGG is for real. And I was sitting here thinking, is he watching my broadcast? I started looking at my flip chart.
Who am I talking about?
It was DGG. Did I mispronounce somebody's name? And then I was like, oh, he's talking about the kid from Baylor there in Chattanooga. So It's going to be one of those seasons. By the way, Peyton Manning's son made his high school debut, last night as the backup quarterback on
this same team, right?
On the same team.
Yeah. I mean, what a team.
Because Reagan Croucher is the starting quarterback who's already committed to Ole Miss. Marshall came in the second half in mop-up duty as Baylor was beating Brentwood, and that's two nationally ranked
Well, he
teams.
actually got in the first half. It was a 10-3 game. He completed a pass.
He completed the touchdown to Cornbread, right?
I don't know if it's a touchdown.
I think it was.
Maybe he did complete a touchdown pass, but I saw a video of his first varsity completion. It was like a rollout to the right side. I don't know, like a 10-yard out route.
I think he threw a touchdown to a guy named Cornbread, who is my favorite player on this team. I don't know much about him, and I don't know if he's committed anywhere.
I love good Cornbread.
But if a kid's going to go by the nickname of Cornbread willingly, he's my guy. And he's not a kid named Cornbread. You're like, what position does he play? Oh, he's an offensive guard. You ought to see him eat. No, this guy's a wide receiver.
Yeah.
And he's going by the name Cornbread. So this is my guy.
I would
don't know
expect
anything
him
about
to be like O-line, like have a butterbean build.
Yeah. Oh, of course. Look at Cornbread over there eating.
Yeah, we had a guy named
receiver.
We had a guy that went by Pork Chop on our starting.
Was he an offensive lineman?
Oh, 100%. He was right guard.
And you would think Cornbread is.
Like
too.
I imagine Cornbread eats like a PB&J and then sticks a honey bun in the middle.
Yeah.
Dude,
I just saw
bulk
that.
up. I just saw that on Twitter where a offensive line coach was talking about how his offensive linemen were putting on weight. They were buying honey buns from the vending machine in the cafeteria and putting them on peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
Why not? Why
It's
not?
like sugar rush.
Wash that down with a muscle milk.
you know what I had for breakfast sitting right here doing show notes earlier this morning?
What is that?
Jam. The
new one?
Jams?
Yeah.
I
I bet it's not as good as
Yeah, how are those?
I enjoy them.
If you were a real offensive lineman, you would take two of them and put a honey bun in between them.
Yeah, well, I thought y'all saw the rapper up here or something. Y'all were taking a shot at me for jamming out on a little PB&J this morning for breakfast.
I scarfed down a muffin during the show open.
Yeah. In the chat
no room
room,
to talk.
again, the chat room, high school tape that you remember from a football player. Don't go LeBron or some basketball. We'll say basketball season for later on. Give me high school players that you remember seeing their tape, whether it's on YouTube or back in the day on your local TV news. And maybe we'll get to a couple of those here in this segment. The show being brought to you in part today by wonderful Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing. He and Andrea own the company. Hope to see them a week from last night at our kickoff party again. Andrea and Greg and their 10 kids, deeply rooted here in Central Alabama. And they own Storm Restoration Roofing, locally owned for over 20 years. By the way, almost 30 years now. So a company that's been around 30 years, you know they do something right. And they're A-plus rated with the Better Business Bureau. And it starts with a great entry point, free. How about that? Free. Free, no-cost roof inspection. All you got to do is call or text Greg, 205-542-3531. 205-542-3531. Look him up on Facebook, Greg from Pell City. Storm repairs, roof replacements, and that free no-cost roof inspection. He'll do it all. Great relationships with insurance providers. StormRestorationRoofing.com. Any chat room responses there from folks talking high school football after we saw Gabriel Georges go crazy last night for Baker?
Yeah, let me back up here. It's all over the place, as you might imagine. Troy says Lake Seastrunk High School YouTube clips are incredible. I remember that name.
Yeah, that was from down in it was a Montgomery school, I think.
Maybe.
Is that the guy who played at Baylor?
Yeah, he did go to Baylor. I was trying to remember where he
was
played.
pretty
high
good
school.
there.
That's right.
Yeah, I think Seastrunk was a Texas guy.
That's right. I was thinking of Lectron Williams.
Oh, Lectron Williams was down in, was he Viger?
Yeah,
I think it was
that's
Viger
right.
down in
Yeah,
Mobile.
yeah,
He went to Auburn and it just never worked. But
Yeah.
Lectron Williams, great nickname, by the way.
Yeah. That was his real name, I think.
No, it was not.
Someone said Reuben Foster.
It
in the
was
chat.
not. Electron was not his real name. His real name was, Electron was definitely a nickname.
I don't think it was.
Jim, it was. I think it was Daryl Electron Williams. I'm going to go with Daryl.
Okay.
Will you Google him, please, Tyler?
I think you're right.
I do remember three names, but I thought Electron was on the
No, I
board.
think
Daryl Lectron Williams was a legendary high school running back
legendary is
from
correct.
Vigor High School in
Viger.
Pritchard, Alabama.
Vigor.
Vigor.
Yeah.
Viger High School. No, that kid. Now, that was another one where he was in Mobile, so I didn't see a ton of highlights in Birmingham, but I remember his name. And when he went to Auburn, you thought, well, this kid will tear it up. He barely touched the field at Auburn.
Yeah. Anybody else in the chat room there? We appreciate you jumping in the chats with us all the time.
Some Robert Davis from Homewood, some Bo Jackson from McAdory, for those who grew up. Troy says That kid looks slow, to be honest. Hard to bring down for sure, but he looks slow.
Yeah, once you put on pads and try to tackle him.
Now we're gonna question his speed.
Let's come on. Let's do it again.
Okay,
play him again.
Does he look slow to you?
Does he look slow?
Well, but he's breaking tackles. He's not like. He's not like he's not blazing, but Derrick Henry never looked particularly fast. But boy, you got Derrick Henry in the open field, and he ran away from receivers.
That speed is deceptive if you think he looks slow.
That's what I'm saying. Derrick Henry was 6'2", so he didn't look particularly fast. But buddy, you lay him out in the open field, and DBs didn't chase him down. And not comparing him to Derrick Henry.
Somebody said Reuben Foster in the chat. He was incredibly good in high school. They referenced his junior film when he was at LaGrange High School in Georgia before transferring over to Auburn, Alabama High School his senior year. Another guy growing up in Georgia that was incredible, Trey Blackman.
Oh, yeah, and played at Auburn. I remember Trey Blackman.
He's from LaGrange High School. That guy was one of the highest-rated linebacker recruits coming out of Georgia ever.
He had a great nickname.
Who, Trey Blackman?
Anybody remember it?
Trey Blackman?
Yeah.
It's not as good as Papa Cherry.
That was David Palmer. Forrest Davis ran it in his magazine, too. What's the kid's nickname?
Trey Blackman was the little ball of hate.
Oh, I like the little ball of hate. That's a good one.
Hey, not to agree with Troy, because I was just too embarrassed to say it, but the first time I saw the highlights, I was like, is that fast?
Well, he's out in the open field. Let him get out. I want to see him in the open field first.
Yeah.
See if a DB, and those are college DBs, take a bad angle.
You know who he kind of reminds me of is a little smaller, like he's a little taller and not quite as thick, but his running style reminds me of Trent Richardson's.
Okay.
So far we've compared him to Derrick Henry.
Well, I think that was just a folklore.
No, people are comparing him to Derrick Henry in the chat.
No, just the folklore of the high. Everybody's saying, "Oh, look at this YouTube clip of Derrick
I'm going
Henry."
Straight player comp. He reminds me like think about that play against Arkansas where he broke like 7 tackles and then ran for a touchdown after that. Like that's what that reminds me of.
Yeah. All right, we've played into the folklore enough of this guy.
Have. Let's do an over/under on his career yardage at Tennessee. What do you think?
How many college teams does he play for?
Yeah, that could be the over/under. Yeah.
I mean, that's
this day and age.
That's what's happening
after he goes to an NFL camp.
Hey, let's talk Alabama's scrimmage, as that should be the last full scrimmage before you get to the start of the season. Brought to you today by our friend Alexander Shunnarah, trial attorney.
Shunnarah.com, the place to go when you face any legal issues. Alexander Shunnarah. You don't pay a dime unless they win your case, and boy, do they win cases. More than $2 billion recovered for their clients. $2 billion over the 25 years he's been doing this. And in that 25 years, he's grown his firm to more than 150 attorneys under that one roof, more than 500 dedicated team members. So that tells you they can handle anything you've got. They've got the team to do it. Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorneys. You don't pay a dime unless they win your case at Shunnarah.com. Shunnarah.com.
All right, so yesterday on the show, we told you Chris Lowe and others were reporting that they believed Keelan Russell was going to be the QB1. So after the scrimmage yesterday, Kalen DeBoer was asked about separation between Russell and Austin Mack so far.
Is there any separation between Keelan and Austin at this point?
I mean, depends on what you're looking at. Again, we look at them just moving the ball down the field, and both of them, I have to look exactly the drive charts because they flip so much between ones and twos. But we can go in with either one of them. I feel very comfortable with that. And obviously we got to pick one, and we will pick one. We'll continue to work through that here in the days ahead.
So they'll pick one. Now, people are like, okay, it's and a lot of people have said it's going to be Russell from day one. So why do you play it the way Kalen DeBoer plays it? And think about what Austin Mack has done with Kalen DeBoer and Ryan Grubb to start with. They recruited him for a couple of years and got him to come to Washington. And we talked about this a little bit on the Conor O'Gara show earlier. And then after going to the national championship game, Ryan Grubb goes to the Seahawks, and Kalen DeBoer is immediately picking up his family and moving to Tuscaloosa to replace Nick Saban. And Jeremy Bernard says, I'll go, and Bernard's going to be a starter at wide receiver. Parker Brailsford says, I'll go, and he's going to be a starter at center. And Austin Mack says, I'll go. And I know Jalen Milroe is there, and, oh, by the way, Ty Simpson is there too, but I'm still going to go. I'll go with you, Coach DeBoer. Even though Ryan Grubb's not going with you, I'll go with you. and Austin Mack goes with Kalen DeBoer. And then Jalen Milroe's the quarterback. And then Ty Simpson's the quarterback. And Austin Mack is still here, still here, still here. The most constant thing in Kalen DeBoer's probably the most chaotic transition in his life, other than a family member, has been Austin Mack and Courtney Morgan, the GM.
Right.
So when it's coming down to making a decision here on whether Austin Mack is going to be the starting quarterback or not, if I'm Kalen DeBoer, I want to give that kid until the very last second an opportunity to win the job, to the very last second, because he has been almost like a family member to me from his high school recruitment to Washington to Tuscaloosa, and he's been nothing but a great teammate and a great representative of Alabama. So you give him every chance to win the job. Eventually, it looks like Keelan Russell is going to win the job. Austin Mack gets rave reviews from Kalen DeBoer all the time. We can win with either one of these guys. I understand why he still answers it like this and why it has taken so long to name a quarterback. And really, it hasn't taken long. This is when you name the starting quarterback after the final scrimmage.
Yeah, I mean, Alabama plays 2 weeks from tomorrow. It's not like there's a panic. Oh my gosh, they haven't named a quarterback yet. I mean, they play 2 weeks from tomorrow. You got plenty of time. They just did their final scrimmage. Now you'll get in, the start to get in your game week proper preparation soon. And I think he's going to name Keelan Russell. I mean, when Chris Lowe reported it yesterday, that was probably all I needed to know. As we pointed out on the show, Chris does not make his living off telling people who's going to start at quarterback. Chris reports coaching changes. He comments on things. He's not the guy that's in the trenches trying to figure out who's starting at quarterback for every school. So when Chris says it, Chris has been told by someone he trusts implicitly. And I would be stunned if that person isn't on the same staff as the guy that just talked to us right there. So, when Chris said it, I think you can take it to the bank that it's going to be Keelan Russell. But, Jim, even if it's that obvious, even if Keelan Russell was the obvious starter, out of respect to Austin Mack, you're going to make it look like it was down to the final week. Like, man, I tell you what, we got to name a guy right now, but I'm fine with either one of them. But I know in football, we've got to have an obvious number one to lead the team, and it's going to be Keelan. But I'm going to sit here and tell you this was one of the hardest decisions I've ever had to make, even if it wasn't. That's what you're going to say if you're Kalen DeBoer. Like you said, out of respect to Austin Mack and for his PR game. I mean, you want to make Mack look as good as you can make him look. This kid hopes his career isn't over being the backup quarterback at Alabama. Now, I don't know what this means for his career. You never know. You're always one play away, but you don't want it to end this way for him.
Well, that's right. You got to have two quarterbacks. You got to have three. I mean, you mentioned it yesterday off the air that rave reviews for Tamala over there right now, and there's new quarterbacks coming in. So the quarterback room, as healthy as you can have it in the portal days, is good. Austin Mack is an asset for Alabama, even if he's not QB1. He's a huge asset to have someone with that experience, that knowledge of the playbook. Even though he doesn't have experience in actual games, relatively speaking, but he's got a lot of experience in that playbook and with that staff, an asset for Alabama to where if Russell goes down or if he goes out there and has young quarterback spasms in games, that Austin Mack could be a steady hand to go in there.
But let me say one more thing, too, and Austin Mack's a veteran. I found it fascinating to hear Matt Wyatt talk yesterday about before the coaches even tell you, right? Your second team, you're about to move to first team. Before the coaches ever tell you, they give you the signals Keelan Russell's still a young, unproven, inexperienced quarterback. So what is going to motivate him is knowing I got to continue to play at an elite level to keep my job. So the more engaged you can also keep Austin Mack in this, the better it is going to be for him to push Keelan Russell. This is not going to be Keelan Russell just show up and I'm the starter every day. I got a guy still pushing me because he wants to be the starter too. So that benefits you in the long run as well.
Most Alabama fans not worried about the quarterback position, though. They're worried about everything else. Here's Kalen DeBoer on what the whole scrimmage looked like in the final tune-up before they open with East Carolina.
Probably the general feel, I think, of the week would be that we made a lot of progress. I felt like we consistently get better. There's no drop-offs, and that's what I want to see. We still got some big weeks ahead. I think that it was this time a year ago where we didn't continue to take those strides. And so that'll be the challenge moving forward. But some good stuff to learn from. Love having the officials out there. We were much cleaner, especially pre-snap in this scrimmage than what we were last scrimmage, and even in the week of practice. So it was good to see that. But just getting their input and interpretations on some things, it's good to have the officials out there. So a lot of the guys that you'd expect, I think, are doing a good job. And managing the scrimmage, you don't see it all. So, but there's a lot of guys I think that you'd expect, the starters in particular, that I think just consistently do their thing. And so some guys that I'm sure you'll ask about that are behind them that are pushing for spots. So we got some competition still going at a number of places, and that's healthy for our football team. But I thought today was a really good day.
But speaking of healthy for the football team, Brownie, you've heard a couple of names that may surprise some, but not to the Alabama fans. But it's encouraging news, both these names.
Well, I would say I think in the offseason, most people thought when you've got 3 receivers on the field to start the game, they are going to be Ryan Coleman-Williams, Lottie Brooks, and
most likely the 5-star wide receiver recruit, Sedarian Morgan.
And it may still be. Yeah. I'm not saying it's not going to be, but I will say when given the opportunity to talk receivers, both he and Ryan Grubb have sung the praises of Derek Meadows a lot this offseason and in this fall camp. And we talked about him the other day. He got popped in that Missouri game, and there was some time off the field for him last year in that Missouri game, and he just kind of got behind the 8 ball. You already have Bernard and Ryan Coleman-Williams, and all of a sudden Lottie Brooks kind of exploded onto the scene, and now playing time got a little thin there for him at receiver. But, boy, he's a big guy, a big target, 6'5". They apparently really like Derek Meadows. So that might be the surprise name at wide receiver. I still think it's going to be Sedarian Morgan. I want to see this kid play because he is a stud, apparently. But Derek Meadows continues to get the praise for Alabama wide receiver.
Body types are a lot alike, by the way. Morgan's 6'5" as well.
Yeah.
So they're both sort of the same type guys. Don't forget Rico Scott. I think he's a talented guy in that room as well. It's running back where you're worried because of the AK Deer. And another name that keeps popping up in every conversation we have is
Trae'shawn Brown, who is a freshman. And after the practice yesterday, DeBoer was singing the praises of how well he does the things other than run the football. And isn't that what you're concerned the most about with young backs is they all know how to run the football. You wouldn't have recruited them if they didn't. What they don't know how to do is to make the reads they have to make, to avoid SEC elite defenders that they've never have to avoid, to make the cuts and the decisions they don't have to make against those defenders, and primarily to protect their quarterback because they're not asked to do that a lot in high school football. And DeBoer yesterday was just talking about how good he does those other things. Trae'shawn Brown sounds like he's going to be a hard guy to keep off the field in Alabama's backfield. And unfortunately for Alabama, he's been given time to show that because of the injuries at back. AK Deer is going to be out for some extended time. And Crowell, who everybody wants to see on the field, just can't get on the field consistently in fall camp. He's missed both scrimmages. And for a young guy, that seems like that's going to get you a little bit behind the 8 ball for playing time. Now, if this kid is what everybody says he is, he'll make up that ground quickly. But missing both fall camp scrimmages as a young guy could be a little detrimental to his playing time early on.
So that's a little Alabama scrimmage there. We'll talk more SEC and let's see, I got some ACC football to get to on the cut sheet here and Big Ten football to get to on the cut sheet here. Still to come in our next 90 minutes here on the Sport and State platform and the Next Round platform. Glad to have you all with us. One more thing in this opening segment. It includes the NFL last night in exhibition play. I told you as the show was wrapping up yesterday, really loved the Chargers.
That's right.
In that game last night because the 49ers are so banged up.
Mm-hmm.
If you're new to the show, and we know we've got a few new viewers this week, I am not really good at picking winners.
What do we call you?
The landmine.
Yeah.
Not good. I said take the Chargers plus 1.5.
Mm-hmm.
Last night, San Francisco 41, Chargers 17. Brock Purdy, Mac Jones both played, looked pretty good. Deshaun Stribling looked great.
Were you catching 23 by chance?
321 yards of offense from San Francisco in an exhibition game.
Yeah.
Totally wrong. That's why I don't do Jim's Lock. It's called Lance's Lock, lanceslock.com. Lance is on vacation, back with us on Monday. lanceslock.com, brought to you by our friends at Hemp Hill. More football tonight. Jets and Steelers. 7 Eastern, 6 Central on the NFL Network. Panthers and Jaguars, wouldn't watch it if they were in my backyard. Packers and Broncos, 9 Eastern, 8 Central tonight on the NFL Network as well.
Hemp Hill Services. If it doesn't flow right, run right, or drain right, Hemp Hill Services, the place to go. 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090. Been serving Birmingham for more than 60 years doing that. They are your call. When you wake up and that sewage is backed up or that toilet is backed up, it's not running right. You wake up and that AC is out and it is sweltering in your house on a southern summer. You go to Hemp Hill Services, 205-229-2090.
By the way, Fernando Mendoza last night, the Raiders win, but Mendoza was very, very pedestrian. 8 of 15, 86 yards. His only touchdown pass was to the other team. Pick 6.
Yeah, I saw right before the game, Troy Aikman's doing a Sports Center hit. And he's like, man, I know we've only seen one game of this guy, but I see flashes. I think he said Peyton Manning. I think that's who Troy compared it to. I see flashes of Peyton Manning. And listen, there's not an analyst I respect more, a game analyst, than Troy Aikman. I love his work. But as soon as I saw that, I'm like, yeah, this is a good night for Mendoza to look awful.
Yeah.
After Troy Aikman, who's doing his game, compares him to Peyton Manning, and then he did look awful.
Yeah, that's Houston. I would imagine.
Could be the best defense in the NFL.
Yeah, they're my pick to win the AFC.
Yeah.
To go to the Super Bowl. Rams-Texans are my pick for the Super Bowl.
You don't think D'Amico Ryans was like, we got a rookie out here. Let's have some fun with him. Let's give him something he's never seen in Indiana.
Yeah, even if you're the 2s or 3s, eventually that defense trickles down from D'Amico there in Houston. That's a good football team if they get any good from CJ out there. Some more exhibition play tonight and throughout the weekend. I wanted to show you this clip though from before the Cowboys and Saints played their exhibition game. You have these joint practices. And earlier this week, Cowboys and Saints got into a brawl at practice. Look at this. I mean, this happens all the time, but then you get into this. Watch this body slam coming up here.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go.
Here we go. Here it comes. Here it comes.
Boom.
Right.
And this fight just keeps going and going. $500,000 the Cowboys were fined. $500,000 the Saints. A $500,000 each franchise was fined. A total of $1 million fines for this practice fight.
$1 million. You know who made the slam, don't you?
No, who?
Brock Rechsteiner. You know who that is, don't you?
I don't.
Former Jacksonville State Gamecock. And his dad happens to be Scott Steiner of the WWE Steiner Brothers. You think he learned it from his old man? That was a wrestling takedown, wasn't it?
Yeah, it wasn't a great one, to be honest with you.
Wow, look at you underselling it.
I mean, if y'all are going to call DGG slow on the tape, that was a crappy takedown. Didn't even really get his shoulders to the mat.
6'2", 225.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, when his dad is wrestling, the other guy's playing along, right?
Yeah,
the other guy's helping.
I've seen a lot of these fights in these joint practices. I don't know if what made this rise up to $500,000 to each franchise.
I mean, that's a slam, but it's not even that violent. I was joking about his dad is Scott Steiner of the WWE Steiner Brothers, but I was joking about it being vicious. It was not vicious at all, in fact. To your point, I mean, he barely gets him down to the ground. I don't know why we're fining. I don't even know why there were fines. Why are there fines?
Yeah.
All right, grabbing a guy by a face mask and dragging him, maybe.
Well, there's a lot of face mask grabbing going. I thought it was a big fine. We get to our 40 and 40 team and more college football when we come back, but you can get, whoever you're watching us today, come to Talladega in October. If you've never been to a NASCAR race, make Talladega your first race. People come from all 50 states every time we have a race at the Talladega Superspeedway, which is just outside of Birmingham, Alabama, almost perfectly between Birmingham and Atlanta. It's the world's fastest speedway because the banks are 7 stories high. It is hard to even walk up the banks that these cars race around on. That's how you get such high speeds and huge drafts, so it's bumper-to-bumper racing for 3 hours. It is unbelievable, and the people watching is 100 out of 100. And if you can camp out in the infield, camp out at the infield, but don't bring the wife and kids.
Wow.
Go there and just have a blast in the infield. I mean, not to do anything nefarious, just to be, guys trip. Burn some wood and drink some beer. That's what you do at Talladega. Burn some wood and drink some beer. and watch some great racing. October 23rd through the 25th, TalladegaSuperspeedway.com to get tickets. TalladegaSuperspeedway.com to get tickets. Segment 2 coming up on the next round, also here on Sport and State.
Follow Brownie on Twitter and Instagram at Ryan Brown Live.
The insurance company called. They offered you a settlement. Sounds good, right? Wrong. They're counting on you not knowing what your case is really worth. They're betting you take pennies on the dollar because you're scared and overwhelmed. Don't fall for it. Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorneys has recovered over $2 billion for going to war with insurance companies that try this every single day. Call 659-777-7777 or alexwins.law. Free consultation. You pay nothing unless they win.
Physical office location, Birmingham.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Never miss anything from the Next Round when you listen on demand through the podcast platform of your choice, Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcast, wherever you listen. Always like, follow, subscribe, turn on automatic download so you can catch every part of the Next Round. Listen anywhere in the world, anytime on the Next Round podcast feed, and support the show by following, subscribing, and turning on automatic downloads on any podcast platform. Listen anywhere in the world, anytime on the Next Round podcast feed. Thanks for always making the Next Round a big part of your day. Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on the Next Round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at the Next Round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
The 2026 Yellowwood 500 weekend is returning to the Talladega Superspeedway Friday, October 23rd through Sunday, October 25th. The triple header chase weekend at Talladega features 3 days of high-intensity racing across 3 series, capping off with the Yellowwood 500 on Sunday. Guarantee your spot now by visiting TalladegaSuperspeedway.com or calling 877-GO-TO-DEGA. And enhance your race weekend by adding passes to the Talladega Garage Experience, the most immersive in NASCAR. 877-GO-TO-DEGA or TalladegaSuperspeedway.com.
Hour 1 of the Next Round rolls on. Don't forget our kickoff party, 5th anniversary party, 6th kickoff, 5th anniversary party. Walk-ons next Thursday. Walk-ons, great Cajun cuisine, unbelievable televisions to watch all your games. Lunch and dinner, to-go orders, easy to go, and they're just drive-up mobile takeouts. Our kickoff party next Thursday at the Highway 280 location. It's presented by Bud Light, Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorneys, and all the great food there. Walk-ons. I forget the name of the salad I get, but it's got a little
Avery Island.
It's got a little tuna on it, a little edamame in it, some jalapeno. It's just a delicious salad. The wings, the bone-in wings, the flavors are tremendous. Love the ice-cold Bud Light. It's all right there at Walk-Ons, Highway 280 next Thursday night, starting at 5 with our 5th anniversary party of the next round. 8 days away from the kickoff of the season. Let's do 4 downs in just a second, but I did want to get a couple of injury notes. You mentioned New Mexico as a possible group of 6 playoff contender yesterday.
Yeah.
Jack Lane, their quarterback, questionable for the opener, coming off elbow surgery in the offseason. So we don't know how quickly he will be ready to go for New Mexico. I know that was a trap game you had for a contender there in September.
Well, for Oklahoma, because it falls right between road trips to Michigan and to Georgia. And if New Mexico is that good, that was the disclaimer. If New Mexico is that good, that's a tougher than normal Group 5 team at a tough spot in your schedule because of the 2 games it's between. But as soon as I gave it out, I had people in the chat room like, I like New Mexico too, Brownie, but quarterback injury, look at that one. So that's obviously, a big factor for them.
Stanford names Davis Warren, their quarterback out there. Kansas State loses their left tackle, John Pastor. He is done for the season with a lower body injury there. Well, not a big deal for South Carolina, but Dylan Stewart, their big defender, is banged up a little bit. They open with Kent State if he can't go in the opener, and then they play Townsend. So even if he misses a game or 2, and they're not saying that yet, but he's a little slow coming back from injury, banged up a little bit. And one to watch at Texas is Trevor Gooseby. He has a bone bruise on his knee. The opener not that big for Texas, but week 2 against Ohio State. We'll see about Gooseby as everybody gets banged up a little bit in camp. We'll talk Brent Venables' contract extension in a second, but let's do 4 downs right now, brought to you by our friends at Central Alabama Asphalt.
When you're riding the beautiful roads of the great state of Alabama, you'll see some roadwork projects, whether it is commercial, a federal, a state, a municipal roadwork project. There's a good chance it's our friends from Central Alabama Asphalt doing that job. They do a ton of those. It may indicate to you they don't have time for your smaller job. That is incorrect. They've got it. Same crews, same quality, same no excuse standards, an entire division based on the smaller jobs like driveways, parking pads, parking lot at a church or a community center or something like that. For estimates on any job, big or small, 205-349-0910, 205-349-0910, or Central Alabama Asphalt.com.
First down.
Okay, 4 downs a little different today. We had 4 uniform releases yesterday. And I want everybody's microphones. I want the letter grade on what you think of these uniforms. We'll go first with the Volunteers. They're doing a General Neyland Legacy uniform. It's the smoky grays, the Neyland old school helmet on the top there, the star on the back, a lot of history with this uniform. And by the way, it's got the Adidas is it trefoil? Is that how you say that?
Trefoil.
Yeah. That has only been worn by Michigan a few times, A&M and Notre Dame. Adidas doesn't allow you to wear that a lot, but they are allowing that on this uniform here. Around the table here, Forrester, you first. A, B, C, D, or F?
I'll go D. I do not like anything smoke with Tennessee.
Okay, D for you. What about you, Brooks?
I'll go B. I don't think it's the original Smoky Gray was probably the best one for Tennessee. I don't like the white pants. I wish they would have gone all gray. Maybe it could have been upgraded to like a B+, A- at that point. Love the history involved with it. Love the sentiment with it. So I'll go with a solid B.
Okay, I like the way you went with the giving them credit for the reason why, even though the execution you may not love. Brownie?
I'll go C. The positives, the trefoil logo, really cool. I like the leather helmet look that they've got. Do not like, much like Scott, do not like anything smoky gray with Tennessee. Tennessee's got a classic uniform. I don't like it when they go smoky grays.
See, I'm different. I think the white pants save it. I hate when it's all smoky gray. And it's actually the leather helmet part of the helmet that I hate the most.
Well, but that's a tribute. I'm okay with it that it's a tribute.
We can tribute a lot of ways other than fake leather helmets.
Yeah, I think they look stupid.
Yeah, it's a D for me. And it's a D for me. And it's not because of the color. I'm okay with the history, and I understand it's big business doing throwback uniforms, retro uniforms. It's a D for me. Let's do second down.
Oh, I was also going to give it a grade.
Go ahead.
Going to give this a B. I love the smoky gray. Don't like the white pants. Love the trefoil. Like the detailing on the shoulders and the leather helmet. Absolutely despise the interlocking UT on the collar, though.
Okay.
That's old school. That's the throwback.
Yeah, that's the throwback.
Yeah,
part
that
of it.
looks like trash to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tyler, not a fan.
Not a fan.
All right.
Second down.
Didn't know Tyler was going to give us a sports take. I guess this is
Hot
technically
take.
fashion. So we can bring
He likes uniforms.
Bring you
Yeah.
in. Okay, number second down here. Our next one is Missouri. Their throwback uniforms. They've taken 100 years of games there at Missouri and blended this uniform in. I'll go first here. This is a strong B+ for me because I don't like when they use that circular tiger thing on their helmet. I like when they have the M on their helmet. I'm a big bold stripe on the helmet and sleeve kind of guy. This is a strong B+ for me. Brownie?
This is an A+. I don't like Missouri's normal uniform.
That's what I'm saying.
This should be Missouri's normal uniform. This is a fantastic look for Missouri. So this is an A+ for me.
Gives me a little CFL vibe, little Hamilton Tiger Cat vibe, but I like the helmet as long as you don't have that souped up circular tiger on there.
And by the way, Chase Daniel last night, our buddy Chase Daniel, former Missouri quarterback, said the same thing I just said. This should be our permanent uniform.
It's a good looking uniform. B+ though for me. Brooks, what do you think of this uniform?
I like it. It reminds me of the Missouri that I saw come to relevance in my childhood when Brad Smith was their quarterback, when they used to still have kind of that more traditional gold and not the yellow gold that they have gone to over the last 20 years. So I think it's a more traditional look. I feel like too many colleges that have gold in their color scheme don't know what color gold they're supposed to use.
That's right, and they get too yellow sometimes.
This is close to Vandy, though, no joke.
It is very close to Vandy's new uniforms.
What about you, Forrester?
These are sharp.
Yep.
I'll go A-.
A-. Okay, B+ for me. Tyler, I'm sorry, I forgot about you again.
I will also go A- because I think it's better than the traditional Missouri uniform. Never liked the tiger logo on the side of the helmet. But I do have to take off points because it's a little too close to Vandy.
It is too close to Vandy. Yeah, same conference.
Maybe Vandy's too close to Missouri.
Could be, but they were in the conference first, so they get benefit of the doubt.
Hey, let's do third down.
Third down.
Baylor with a little throwback uniform here. I don't know what year they're throwing back to in this one. Maybe it's the Mike Singletary years. I'm not sure. But this. Do you have any other slides, or is this it right here for this one? This is the
These
Baylor.
are the only two that I've pulled.
This is the
What
Baylor.
more do you need to see?
Well, I'll tell you when I get to me, but you go first on this one.
These don't do anything for me. C-.
It is a throwback to the Robert Griffin RG3 era.
Okay. All right.
Which is a pretty solid uniform for them. I think too many teams do too much with the triple stripe on the shoulders now. I hate how everyone does that. Feels like they need a stripe on their jersey now.
Yeah, I just told you I like the stripes on the arms.
I like stripes, but it's been overdone. It's kind of
Everyone's
like
different, Jim.
This is my hot take of how you think on the script logos. Too many teams doing that. I think too many teams are doing triple stripe now.
Okay. Brownie?
Don't like the chrome helmet. I think the bear paw on the shoulder is a little too big. But aside from the bear paw on the shoulder, I like the remainder of the uniform. I like that green. I like the Baylor. I like the white pant or the Green Bay Packers pant they're wearing there. I don't like the chrome helmet, so I'm going to give it a B because of the chrome helmet.
It's a C+ for me, except for the helmet. If it wasn't chrome, I don't know if you can see it. They've got stars on the helmet.
I do see that.
And I love that. Like my favorite Texas Tech helmet has, I think, 2 stars on it up on the front. So I like the stars on the helmet. that they have here, but I don't like chrome helmets ever, so C+ for me. Tyler, so sorry.
I'm going to go C-. I don't like the big bear paw on the shoulders there. I do like the chrome helmets, but overall it looks a little too much like a UAB uniform for me to get excited about it.
Yeah.
Yes. Baylor probably doesn't know UAB exists.
That's right, yes.
All right, let's do 4th down.
4th down.
Now, this is Texas Tech. This is, what are they calling this one, Brooks? Is this their Dark Knight? Wait a second. It's their Let's Ride. This is their Let's Ride look.
It's a Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
Hard pass.
I
I'm sorry.
saw this one.
It's not my turn yet.
You
This
can go,
is an F.
You can go first.
Hard
Bernie.
pass, F. I'm just going to say it. If you wear an all-black uniform like this, your school probably has no tradition. So F.
I don't like the fact that, I get that Pat Mahomes, what he's turned into, but the team was not good when he was in college.
Those were 7-win teams, yeah.
I get that he's had a lot of success, but, they sucked when he was there.
Yeah,
they were
right.
5 and 7.
Yeah, why are you throwing back to that?
But he's writing checks for the NIL now, so they're paying tribute to him a lot of time.
Well, that is true. Cody Campbell probably likes it, too.
I get that, but, if we're going to do a throwback or some sort of player's name or something, let's do a Michael Crabtree, Mike Leach, Graham Harrell era uniform. It's weird to me to put if you look on the helmet, on the, what do they call that, the bumper plate or whatever on the helmet, it literally says Mahomes on it. He's on the uniform. His name is on the uniform. It's stupid to me.
Yeah.
Where's the monster patch going to go on this?
You know where you're not? You're not in the Lubbock office of accounting at Texas Tech. They love Mahomes on that plate in the accounting department. There's somebody back there going,
Yeah, they're just going to keep milking that cash cow, I guess.
Might as well. What'd you say, Forster?
I said, where's the monster patch going to go on this?
I see the Big 12. Got to get a little green in there behind it.
Yeah. I'm not a fan. What about you, Tyler?
This is the worst one we've seen.
Yeah, I agree, Tyler.
I don't like the font they used for Mahomes on the helmet, and I also don't like that they put a former player on the helmet. And on top of that, it just looks like a bad uniform.
Yeah. Nothing to like about that one.
It looks like a red uniform that somebody colored in with Sharpie.
Yeah, nothing to like at all about that one.
I'm actually higher on these than I am their normal uniform.
Yeah, their normal one ain't great. I'm with Scott.
Exactly. Yeah. I think this is a small upgrade.
Smuff in the chat is right. He says these look like the Adam Sandler longest yard Mean Machine uniforms.
That's right, yeah. I'm in a bad movie.
That's our 4 downs today. By the way, the smoky grays that Tennessee will wear, they'll wear them against Auburn on October 3rd when Auburn's at Neyland Stadium. So it's a Neyland tribute game. So a lot of you in the state where we broadcast from will be watching that game. Auburn at Tennessee with them in their jacked up helmets and the smoky grays. That's our 4 downs today. Part of the show also being brought to you by our friends at Michelson Laser Vision. We'll do the viewing menu a little bit later on, but our friends at Michelson will make sure you're viewing this football season perfectly.
That's right. Our own Lance Taylor basically was legally blind, riding around, couldn't see things, and he's like, man, I have got to get that fixed. He goes and sees our friends Doctors Mark and Jennifer Michelson. It's a father-daughter team at Michelson Laser Vision. They are pioneers in LASIK surgery. People come from all over the world to learn from them and have surgery from them. So if your distance vision is failing you, Michelson Laser Vision can help. MichelsonLaserVision.com, 205-969-8100, MichelsonLaserVision.com. Get that free evaluation, risk-free evaluation. Call Amy, set it up now, 205-969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com.
Todd Fuhrman from Vegas to start hour 2 coming up in about 8, 9, 10 minutes. Before we get there, I've squeezed this. I've put this into a small compartment because we're so close to football. I'm tired of talking about court cases and things like that. But the floodgates are apparently about to open. Did you know that before last night and before the start of the NFL season, there will be 1,184 players cut?
Okay.
In basically the next 10 days.
That's right.
There'll be 1,184 NFL players cut. And as we've seen now already, 15, 20, 25 are applying and coming back to college to try to play. Floodgates can open. First, I'll go with the great Brad Crawford of CBS Sports asked this question on his social platform. What is keeping right now Diego Pavia away from trying to come back and playing for another year, because his original court case was 20 and 21 in junior college. Then he sues and gets those to not count. 2022, 23, 24, 25 was 4 years. Why is Diego Pavia, who's out of work very quickly, not coming back and saying, hey, I want a 5th year of D1 football?
Would he, and the answer may be this, and you may not know the answer to the question I'm about to ask you, would he have to repay any or all of what Baltimore paid him? Because remember, he signed that $3 million contract. Now, I don't know that was guaranteed. I'm certain it wasn't. But I'm sure he got some decent money from Baltimore for the short time he was there. So, I mean.
But did Clyburn, who's leaving Tampa, did he get any money at all?
Yes. I mean, you don't go to training camp without getting money.
I don't think you do.
Yeah, I mean, you sign a contract. They're paying you to be there. Now, you may not get your full contract. It's not guaranteed. But with that said, a school could offset that with NIL. There are a lot of places where Diego Pavia would be an upgrade for them at quarterback. And, I mean, even if the door was closed at Vanderbilt, because they want to move on because they've got a talented freshman there, I am sure there are places where the door would be open for Diego Pavia, and he would be an upgrade for them.
The reason why the players are leaving these teams when they get cut, because even if you make the practice squad, you're going to be making about $250,000.
Yeah.
And most of these guys can go back to college because of this court ruling in Louisiana and I think Colorado that has opened the door for this. You can go back and make $500,000, $600,000, maybe $1 million in Clyburn's case at LSU if he ends up going back there. So obviously they're going to try to do this. Greg Sankey, SEC commissioner, signs an affidavit with the Louisiana court judge saying it's a competitive disadvantage, fundamental unfairness. He's against it. He's on court record saying that now. And then I asked the question earlier, is there still that rule that you can't go SEC to SEC school outside of the portal because Cleveland tight end, Browns tight end, former Ole Miss tight end, Daquan Wright, he's in the portal now. So, everyone instantly say, could he go to LSU? Well, I don't think you can SEC to SEC this late if that's still a rule, if there's any rules left at all.
I don't know that there are any rules left at all because, Jim, if it gets blocked. Now, you'd have to do this quick because season starts in 2 weeks. But if it gets blocked, I mean, he can just find a judge that gives an injunction. I mean, that's what we do now in college athletics. We go find a judge to give an injunction. Then I go play, and by the time it rolls around to the court case, my playing day is over because I'm in my 5th year. So
Broncos cornerback Blake Cotton, who played at Utah last year, he's back now. He's in the portal. Listen. I'm not going to get too bent out of shape because I can't stop it. I can't control it. So let's just get it done. However we're going to do this, let's just get it done before the season kicks off in 8 days.
I agree. Everybody get where you're supposed to be.
Whatever we're going to decide, let's decide it because I don't want to get into the season and LSU beats Clemson with Clyburn playing, and then all of a sudden Clemson later on is saying, well, should that game even count? If 4 weeks into the season, the ruling goes that Clyburn can't play anymore, like happened with Bediako at Alabama, who played, I think, 6 games. And remember, because of the original TRO, the NCAA couldn't penalize Alabama.
That's right. Yeah, that was written into the TRO. Yeah.
So I remember Bucky McMillan at Texas A&M saying, hey, they beat us with Bediako. Do they hold that against us on the selection process?
That's right. Yeah.
And, it was a fair question from Bucky. I don't want Clemson to be like, hey, they had Clyburn in an LSU game and they beat us by 4, and he had 7 tackles and 2 sacks, one of them for a fumble. At the end of the year, should the selection committee count that as a loss for us? I don't want any of that. So
I'm with you.
Let's get to whatever we need to do right now before the season starts. And if it's letting all these guys from this last year's class come back for a 5th year, let's just say you can do it. It is weird that the defensive star for my Buccaneers, who had 2 sacks against the Jets, is going back to college because I guess he was only going to be on the practice squad. But if that's going to be the case, let's just get it done and go that route. And if you're in the portal, is there a rule? Can you go from Ole Miss to LSU or Ole Miss to Arkansas or Ole Miss to Auburn with a big tight end like Daquan Wright? I don't know.
I think it's white claws. There ain't no laws. We got no laws now.
We say that, and I guess that's true, but there are rules. We're just choosing not to enforce them.
Well, the courts step in sometimes. Yeah,
yeah, but
I think
that's not who I blame. That's not.
No, I don't blame the courts because they're, I think most of the time they're doing what they're supposed to do. I think a lot of the ruling bodies are like, if we push this, it's just going to end up in a court.
Yeah.
We're going to get tied up there. Let's just let it go.
No matter what the courts say, the schools, if they had a spine and didn't want to get a advantage on their opponents, would, if they just all got together and said, hey, we're not going to take any of these guys. You've gone to the NFL. We've made the decision, line in the sand. LSU says no to Clyburn. Whoever wants right from Ole Miss, they say no. If you say, look, you guys want to come back, that's fine, but we're done. We're not going to do it anymore. The rules say this. But the problem is LSU can get a really good edge guy back in Clyburn, right?
Yeah.
So they want to be as good as they can be at LSU, and you can never take that out of humanity. But it would be really cool if everybody said, hey, we're going to all play by the rules, and nobody's going to try to get an advantage through court. It would have been cool if Alabama didn't do it. But Alabama did it because the international players were getting an advantage in basketball that the American G League players weren't getting. And another G League guy had come, so Alabama's like, well, let's see if we can do it with Bediako. And that's how we're going to do it. LSU, if they get Clyburn back, there's going to be somebody else saying, well, LSU's got this guy, so maybe we need this guy. If everybody just did the rules that were on the book, we'd be okay. Wouldn't have all this. Todd Fuhrman, games on the field, what you can expect in the NFL tonight. We'll ask about Oklahoma with Brent Venables. Is that a good move? What does Fuhrman think is going to happen at Oklahoma? And a lot more with Fuhrman coming up on the other side of the show, being brought to you by Central State Bank. Brownie, tell us about those folks.
Bank that is large enough to meet every need you have, small enough to know you. They are Central State Bank. A community bank is important to deal with because they are right in your community. They are the ones making the decisions that impact your life every single day, from buying that first car to opening that business. Central State Bank there with you every step of the way. Central State Bank. 6 locations throughout Central Alabama, large enough to meet every need you have, small enough to know you. Central State Bank, member FDIC.
And our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama, 70 years of compassionate care. You can find out everything the great doctors at UCA can do for you. 10 convenient locations in Central Alabama. Urology Centers, Alabama.com, 205-930-0920. 930-0920, Urology Centers, Alabama.com. From prostate health to kidney stones, testosterone treatment, even ED, they handle it all there. Anything that is impacted by your urological tract, they take care of you. Urology Centers of Alabama, urologycentersalabama.com.
Follow Dunaway on Twitter and Instagram at Jim Dunaway.
Facing time for a crime, huh? Got a list of charges looming over your head. 5-0 got your back up against the wall. Them alphabet boys trying to sit you down on that rack. Well, have no fear. The People's Defender is here. Attorney J.B. Brown, powered by Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorney. He meticulously investigates every case and challenges evidence. Dedicated to protecting the rights and futures of individuals facing criminal charges. Hit him up now at thepeoplesdefender.com. Thepeoplesdefender.com.
Physical office location, Birmingham.
Sterling and the fine folks at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster want to welcome you in for a great lunch or dinner starting at 11 a.m. every day. Chicken that's brined overnight and cooked to order, and the taste of the Delta with those Delta recipe tamales. Champy's is perfect for all your tailgating needs this football season. You can also choose Champy's for your next party, wedding, or birthday. Great food, great people. Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster, and everything online at champyschicken.com.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Next Round shirts, Next Round hoodies, and Next Round hats are all in one place. NextRound.store. Find your favorite piece of gear from your favorite show and put it in your rotation. You never know. You might be in one of our videos showing Next Round gear being worn all over the world. Find all your favorite Next Round gear by visiting NextRound.store. Place an order for you and that big Next Round fan in your life at NextRound.store. Look your best at work, at school, at the stadium, or anywhere you go wearing Next Round gear from NextRound.store.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well-done service.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from the Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
The 2026 Yellowwood 500 weekend is returning to the Talladega Superspeedway Friday, October 23rd through Sunday, October 25th. The triple header chase weekend at Talladega features 3 days of high-intensity racing across 3 series, capping off with the Yellowwood 500 on Sunday. Guarantee your spot now by visiting TalladagaSuperspeedway.com or calling 877-GO-TO-DEGA, and enhance your race weekend by adding passes to the Talladega Garage Experience, the most immersive in NASCAR. 877-GO-TO-DEGA or TalladagaSuperspeedway.com.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Todd Fuhrman in a second, hour number 2 being brought to you in part today by our friends at Hoover Toyota, Brownie. The drive into this football season driven by HooverToyota.com.
That's right. You can see their great inventory and their incredible pricing online, HooverToyota.com. Or visit them in person, John Hawkins Parkway, Highway 150 in Hoover, just down from the Hoover Met. They got great deals right now on all the popular lines, the RAV4, the Tacoma, the Camry, all right there at Hoover Toyota. You could see more online, HooverToyota.com. Perfecting the art of customer service for more than 25 years, Hoover Toyota, Highway 150 in Hoover, HooverToyota.com. Todd Fuhrman is with us. Fuhrman is the former odds maker there at Caesars Palace. You see him now on CBS. He is with us on the Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorneys Hotline. What is up, Todd Fuhrman? How are you?
I'm well this morning, gentlemen. Hopefully you guys are as well, especially with the big announcement earlier this week. So kudos to all of you guys for your new home.
Well, thank you. Do you have Vegas odds on us surviving this? Does Vegas have any odds out on us making the 3 years on our contract?
From what I've been told, that the new proprietor of that website is pretty lenient, so it would take an awful lot for you guys to say something to completely bury yourselves. So even with Dunaway in the fold, I'm going to make you guys a massive 1-10 favorite to survive the full duration of your contract.
1-10?
Yeah.
That's
now, if you broke it down individually, though, the chance I'm here 3 years from now.
This is like conference win totals.
Yeah.
It just had to be the brand and the franchise. It didn't say anything about the individuals that were calling the shots.
That's right. I'm basically Shane Beamer. I may survive the year. I may not survive the year. Depends on what kind of quarterback play I get. I wanted to ask you about Brent Venables. He gets a 6-year extension, $10.5 million yesterday, 32-20. Sometimes you give a contract extension right before a big year, coming off a pretty good year where they made the playoffs, though they lost a home game, blew a big lead in the home game to Alabama. And sometimes you give a contract extension to a guy you like that you think is pretty good, but you could be going into a so-so year. Where are you on Oklahoma win total-wise this year? What kind of season are you expecting from the Sooners?
So I'm a buyer in Oklahoma this year. I really believe they're going to get better quarterback play out of a healthy Mateer compared to the version that we saw over the latter portion of the schedule after breaking his thumb. The accuracy wasn't there. He didn't appear to be nearly as willing a runner. And the one thing that we've grown accustomed to with Brent Venables, even during his short time in Norman, or as a defensive coordinator at Clemson before, is he's going to get an elite level defense. Regardless of the pieces that he has, he's going to get the most out of the group. And I think asking Oklahoma's defense to be able to replicate what they did last year is a little bit of a leap of faith, but I don't think there'll be a significant drop-off. I think they can bridge that gap from an offensive capability standpoint, a few weapons I actually like in the backfield and at the wide receiver position. But for me, I can tell you that we've seen professional money come in on that win total over 7.5. I'm not sure I wanted to run to the window to bet it, because if everything goes well for Oklahoma, I think they have an excellent opportunity to get to the college football playoff, and that would be the market that I'd be more inclined to kind of back the Sooners in than just them getting to 8 wins, given how daunting that schedule looks on paper. And like we've said, going back earlier this summer, we're going to know exactly where Oklahoma is, or at least have a pretty good indication early on when they take on Michigan. If they're able to go in Ann Arbor and win that game outright, where they'll be about a 1.5 point underdog, I think it raises that level of expectation, and it sets OU up for what will be an absolute grueling SEC schedule, only one bye week mixed in.
Fuhrman, hear me out on this before you laugh out loud. We yesterday were trying to identify some September trap games, and both Dunaway and I used this one for Oklahoma. Between games in Ann Arbor and in Athens, at Michigan and at Georgia, they play host to New Mexico. And most people would just laugh that off, but this is a sneaky good New Mexico team if they can get healthy at quarterback. Is that a legitimate trap game, New Mexico, between road trips to Michigan and Georgia?
100%. Oklahoma is going to need to have to be buttoned up for that game, because New Mexico, the one thing we saw last year in Coach X's first season, they were significantly better when they came into games as an underdog. They didn't exactly perform to a high standard when there were expectations for them. But this is a team that, you mentioned the quarterback situation, and something we have to monitor. They get an Oregon transfer and Luke Moga to come in. Jack Lane dealing with a little bit of an elbow issue. I don't have a big drop-off between those two guys, regardless of who starts, maybe a point max. And when you look at the way this Oklahoma team is going to have big expectations, there's no doubt if they're not buttoned up and ready to play, that New Mexico is going to come in there and be able to push them. My numbers for that game sit right around 3 touchdowns. So to call for the Lobos to pull off the outright upset, probably a leap of faith. But if you're a Sooner fan, don't be surprised if it's a 1-score game to start the fourth quarter, if Oklahoma isn't laser focused, knowing that is the proverbial sandwich spot against a G6 opponent that has conference title aspirations in their own right.
One of the upset games I was looking at in September yesterday when we were doing that exercise was SMU against Florida State early in the season here. How in the world are you able to even have a guess on what kind of talent Florida State's going to have on the field because of that brand being so big, how bad they were last year? But they beat Alabama in one game, but they were so bad. They've got a different quarterback in there. How do you folks in Vegas take SMU proven product and match it up against Florida State early in the year?
It is a phenomenal question, and I think a game that is going to set the tone on what you're going to see in Tallahassee throughout the course of the season. Florida State's a team, full disclosure, that I bet under 6.5 regular season wins. So I think if they get bowl eligible, it's going to happen in the last couple weeks of the season. But I don't have a whole lot of optimism around Mike Norvell, who goes in what feels like his 3rd straight lame duck season, as Florida State tries to figure out the direction they want to go. But we saw Florida State, to your point, at their best. Week 1 last year, winning outright against Alabama and looking dominant in doing so before they stubbed their toe and then some against what I think all of us would call inferior ACC opponents as the year progressed. For SMU, a lot of people have them billed as the 3rd team in that league this year, probably behind Miami, who is a clear-cut favorite, and Louisville at number 2. So I think the big question for SMU is Brett Lashley able to get this team to perform on both lines of scrimmage. A healthier Kevin Jennings makes them a little bit scarier to try and defend in space. But there's a reason that SMU is less than a field goal favorite in this game for that Labor Day clash, sitting right in that 2.5 range. Wouldn't be surprised, though, if the Mustangs close a full field goal in that spot. But I'm going to kind of take the wait-and-see approach. I'll leave my own exposure there, hoping for SMU to win and start Florida State on that downward spiral to get one step closer to cashing their under regular season wins.
For Alabama, they've got 5 games before they play Georgia. We'll take East Carolina off the table. I want to ask you, of the 4 after that, Which team would be poised to give them the most trouble? I'm not asking about point spreads. Those are already out there. But the team that Todd Fuhrman would say, this would be poised to give Alabama the most trouble. They're at Kentucky, Florida State at home, South Carolina at home, at State. Where should Alabama fans, before they get to Georgia, be on the radar for a game that might be closer than the odds makers would think?
I think a couple of these games could actually be closer than people think. Kentucky going through a bit of a transition season. Not sure we're going to get from Kenny Minchie and first-year head coach Will Stein, but Alabama needs to make sure that they can put away what could potentially be a pesky underdog there, given the level of optimism in Lexington with a fresh restart without Coach Stoops. But I think Alabama gets out of that game unscathed. Again, not going to be running to lay points with the Tide on the road. Those back-to-back home dates that you mentioned against Florida State, they will no doubt have their undivided attention on the Seminoles, given what transpired last year in Tallahassee. So I'm not going to put Alabama on upset alert in that particular spot. But the next two games get tricky for different reasons. South Carolina, we know, had Alabama arguably beat last year, ended up shooting themselves in the foot. It was the tail end of an absolutely grueling stretch for the Tide, but I will give Alabama credit. They found a way to persevere and get the job done. But Lenora Stellar, a very difficult out. And then if you're able to take care of business there, I think as a result, going to Starkville gets to be a lot trickier. Mississippi State's a team that I'm very interested to watch in their non-conference game against Minnesota. We talk about those preseason or early season litmus tests. That'll be one that goes a long way against a veteran group, unfamiliar surroundings up there in the Twin Cities. I think Mississippi State is going to surprise some people. They can be a point spread darling. And whether or not this is going to make me sound like a fool when we get closer to the season and get more data points, Kamario Taylor, for me, could be one of the more underrated, more exciting quarterbacks to watch. You just have to hope that he stays healthy throughout the course of the season because we saw that versatility on full display and also how he exposed himself to a big hit. Not exactly a recipe for success going through a grinding SEC schedule.
Without even seeing point spreads week of the game, I'm playing Alabama this way. Alabama giving the points against East Carolina. I'm taking Kentucky and the points. Alabama giving the points against Florida State. I'm taking South Carolina with the points. I'm taking Mississippi State with the points. I'm taking Georgia money line. That's my first 6 bets on Alabama.
I mean, Brownie, we should mark all this down and see if Dunaway can create a little bit of a rollover situation and make himself quite profitable before we get to see Alabama in their home jerseys at Neyland Stadium against Tennessee on October 17th. So I don't even know why, Dunaway, we're going to play this season. You've just given us the answer keys for the first 6 games for the Crimson Tide this year.
I think Alabama wins the first 5, but they will really put on a show against East Carolina. Kentucky will play them close. They'll be overhyped. Then they'll come in and kill Florida State. And then South Carolina will be a nail-biter. Mississippi State closer than expected. Then Georgia wins the game outright. That's my prediction.
You know the worst part is, without seeing numbers, and I, of course, have my own power numbers, but we'll see where the market opens up, and that becomes the determining factor. I actually agree with the way you've kind of handicapped those first couple of games in terms of what I would go in with my first inclination if I was going to be betting all of those games for Alabama before the season started.
Scariest thing is when I say something, you're like, damn it.
That's
exactly what I was thinking.
1,000%. It means I think I'm one step closer to retiring in what I call a profession, betting sports for a living.
This is where Fuhrman spends the rest of the afternoon reevaluating his Alabama stance. He's like, I got to look at these again.
It's when he reevaluates whether he should come on this show every week is for me to taint his brain. If it makes you feel better, I was all over the Chargers last night. So.
Well, yeah, you know what? I had a small bet on the Chargers plus 1.5 myself, and we saw how that worked out. So, sometimes those are the games that are easier to kind of purge from your brain. You watch the Chargers go from plus 1.5 to -2, think you got ahead of the line move, watch a couple of drives and go, this thing has absolutely no prayer in hell. And you can understand pretty quickly why the preseason can be so volatile.
I wonder if you do this, Fuhrman, as a professional, but last night I'm at home, and I see Troy Aikman right before the Vegas game talking about Mendoza, and I think he said, if I remember what Troy said, guys, I've only seen one preseason game, but this guy's already showing signs of Peyton Manning, and I know this, and I just wonder if you're like, all right, good time to get down against Mendoza, when Troy Aikman after one preseason game has compared him to Peyton Manning.
It's a bold claim because I'm pretty sure Troy Aikman didn't even want to watch the preseason game he was at last night between the Raiders and Texans. So if he actually watched some tape ahead of time, that would be the ultimate upset in this, because there was nobody more excited when that clock was running in the fourth quarter than Troy Aikman. And kudos to Joe Buck for trying to keep his partner on the rails to at least get that across the finish line. But to Aikman's credit, I think what was surprising, not those comments, but what we heard today from Coach Kubiak out here, because everyone had been working under the assumption that it was going to be Kirk Cousins as the week 1 starter. And Kubiak kind of said, well, I'm not going to announce a starter just yet. So it felt like not quite a full 180, but pretty damn close to a little bit of a role reverse, so that maybe inside Raiders camp, they're considering starting Mendoza a little bit earlier than anticipated. The problem for Mendoza, it's an offensive line that I still think has to answer a lot of questions. A skill position group other than Brock Bowers and Ashton Genty that doesn't really have any plus weapons, and a defense outside of Max Crosby, who knows if he's going to be with the Raiders all season long, has major weaknesses at all 3 levels. So I'm very interested to see the direction this front office goes, and if they throw Mendoza to the Wolves a little bit sooner than we were led to believe throughout the course of summer and OTA.
All right, so you're out in Vegas. For those that may be new to our show, Todd Fuhrman joins us weekly at this time, and we talk a lot of football, but you're in Vegas. I saw where they've got a person to do the development around the A's stadium now, like a $1.1 billion development deal that somebody bought in and is now going to do that around the A's stadium. How excited are you about that stadium and everything they're doing around the stadium there in Vegas when the A's finally get to town?
All I can hope is that most of the existing talent on the A's roster gets left in West Sacramento, and they treat it like an expansion franchise. Given how poor this team has been, there was, of course, a lot of optimism coming into the year that, this is a young core that's going to grow together. But you look at what the A's have done this year, 30 games under 500, a run differential of nearly minus 200. But there are some pieces to be optimistic about. And I think while you have plenty of reservations about the ownership group, and rightfully so, until they go out there and conduct themselves in a professional manner, look, having another pro sports team, I'm glad that I don't have to pay the bills or justify the economics. But being able to go out there and see some of the marquee players a stone's throw, from where I live just south of the Strip, pretty exciting. The stadium renderings look phenomenal, and I'm very interested to see what that entertainment district looks like. But one thing I will tell anybody making the trip out there, and I know a lot of people haven't followed this story, there's one hotel and casino that is probably going to be the closest to the new stadium operating under OYO. They're currently being investigated because they have some fake marketing schemes out there where they use various brands to market themselves on third-party search engines. And let's just say it's not the best accommodations you can find. So as we get closer, I would stay away from the OYO Resort Hotel and Casino, the former Hooters, for those folks that haven't been out to Vegas in quite some time.
Wow. Fuhrman with a little travel tip there if you're heading out to Vegas. A lot to choose from out there.
So, Brownie, it's perfect for Dunaway is what I'm basically saying. It's a long-winded way to say that's where Dunaway needs to stay.
Yeah. We have a shower upstairs. The creek in the back's good for you. Yes.
All right.
There may be a hose. You just have to bring your own
That's
ticket.
right. He is Todd Fuhrman at Todd Fuhrman on social media, former odds maker, Caesar's Palace, and you see him on CBS now. Fuhrman, have a great weekend, buddy. We appreciate the time as always.
Hey, always a pleasure, guys, and excited to talk a little week 0. Last I checked, someone's alma mater will be on full display up at the Fargo Dome to kick things off next Saturday.
The best game on the schedule. Forget NC State, Virginia. The Big C, little OCKS heading up to the Fargo Dome.
It's a good game.
That's what we're going to tune in for, Fuhrman. I can't wait.
Hey, look, you got to try and watch a little bit of that, and I may actually have to drag myself out of the office for some live college football myself to see the debut of Charles Huff with Memphis and the Jackson Arnold experience. So if Auburn fans can mentally prepare me for what I'm going to see in person, that would be extremely helpful.
It can only get better, trust me. See you, Fuhrman. See you next week. Thank you.
Good, boys.
All right, next week, as he said, we'll have some week 0 games to talk about. We'll be on the verge of that. That is Todd Fuhrman on the Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorneys Hotline.
Did you just say a prayer for Fuhrman? What'd you say?
I don't think I said that.
Okay.
No, I said, what did I say? I don't know.
It doesn't matter. Anyway, show that before we
but
get
you can always pray for him.
Before we get to our college football spotlight, Tyler, if you get the spotlight ready, show me the rendering again of the A's stadium, but the entertainment district, much like Truist Park in Atlanta, the building one around Neyland Stadium, this multi-phase mixed-use development surrounding the athletics ballpark there. Phase 1 plan includes a multi-level podium with parking on 3 levels and a place with retail, entertainment, dining options, as well as the main entrance to the ballpark, as you see the walk-in there. Phase 1 is expected to be open in 2028 when the ballpark comes in. You see casinos and dining area. To be an entertainment district around a stadium in Las Vegas, you're going to have to be pretty entertaining.
Well, but I also think this just shows you what the A's ownership knows, is that also to draw people in, you're going to have something other than baseball, because you're trying to convince people to leave the entertainment capital of the United States, basically, to come to a baseball game.
That's right.
And so you're going to have something for them. If the A's are down 8 runs in the third, there are going to be people that want to leave and go to those casinos.
And, they're building this type of thing around Neyland Stadium. And, I know Alabama has that Sports Illustrated resort in Tuscaloosa that's opened up. Nothing that's, because of the land right on campus around Bryant-Denny. But even in college, they're trying these new developments around stadiums or around weekend game day experiences. And it's fascinating to see the business side, as this is from the Sports Business Journal, to see how sports is growing in our country, and stadiums and properties around stadiums sort of tying together to enhance the game day and game night experience.
On the press box side, I haven't been to Bryant-Denny in a little bit. On the press box side, I guess it's the university, has bought all that land right there, except for one house, I think. I think there's still one house remaining. Now, I don't know if they use it for parking or
You
what.
mean from the historic restaurant?
Yeah, from Ramajama's back towards.
And then there's some big condos that have been built. Game day condos that are fully occupied all the time.
Yeah.
High end.
Right.
And there's spaces of land right there. Yeah.
But I thought there was that one white house. It almost looks like a shotgun house, like 2 levels, that is still there, that is holding on for dear life. If I remember correctly last time.
Yeah.
And that could have changed since I was there.
Not a ton of property.
But not
right
enough to do what you're talking about. Nowhere close.
No. Like we've discussed, they would have to really start leveling multi-million-dollar sorority houses.
Right.
I think, to do what Tennessee is doing.
Yeah. Or dig up some dead bodies across the street.
Or go the other direction.
Yeah, do that.
Yeah. Which may be the easiest way to do it.
Less complaining.
Better to fight the families of dead people than sorority girls.
I would agree with that. Yeah.
Or you just build over the cemetery
we've talked about that.
without exhuming anything, and then that way you can just you can just give the families season tickets.
No, we've talked about that. Nobody's going to stay in a hotel that's built over a cemetery, Tyler. Come on.
Well, you don't build the hotel part over the bodies.
Just the restaurant.
Just the restaurant or the putt-putt course or something.
Yeah. All right. When we come back, we'll get to our 40 and 40 team today. But one more thing here. It's our Spotlight every day. It's brought to you by our friend Alexander Shunnarah. Hit it, Tyler.
The College Football Spotlight.
Alexander Shunnarah, trial attorney, Shunnarah.com. Shunnarah.com. You don't pay a dime unless they win your case. He is a Birmingham guy. Started his firm right here in Birmingham, Alabama. It's where he grew up. It's where he went to school, graduated at UAB, and when it came time to start one of the great law firms in America, he said, I'm going to do it right here in my own backyard in Birmingham, Alabama. Now, fast forward 25 years, he's recovered more than $2 billion for his clients. That's billion with a B, $2 billion for his clients. Alexander Shunnarah, trial attorney. Shunnarah.com, Shunnarah.com.
I'm a big fan of Miles Morgan, a young artist from Alabama that is trying to make it in the country music world.
Been in studio with us before.
Played in Clemson last night. Did a video with Christopher Vizzina promoting his show in Clemson, South Carolina last night on campus. And Vizzina and him played ball together, Summer League baseball, here in the state of Alabama. And I posted, I said, if Christopher Vizzina has a year this year like Miles Morgan has, the growth that Miles Morgan has had, that Clemson will be a playoff team. Here's Vizzina talking about how other people have undervalued him as the Clemson quarterback because he didn't go into the portal. He stayed at Clemson as the backup to Klubnik. Here is QB1 at Clemson.
Dabo says that he feels like people undervalue you because you chose to stay and not go to the transfer portal. Do you feel like that's accurate?
I mean, in a way, but it just all comes down to me wanting to be here. I don't really care how other people view me. I know there's negativity online. I mean, I'm not looking at it or anything, but it's just how it is. But I've always wanted to be here. I want people to know that, like, this is the place I want to win at. And, I'm obviously still standing here, so that's true. And I feel like all my teammates can see that how I play.
that perception is out there. And I'm glad he's taking that attitude, because you really only have to look in Tuscaloosa for Ty Simpson last year. Ty Simpson did the exact same thing. Time and time again, people are like, he's going to hit the portal. He's going to hit the portal. He's going to hit the portal. He never did. He's stuck in Tuscaloosa.
That was the example I was going to do off of this, and you nailed it.
Well, I mean, and he became a first-round draft pick. Now, did the season end the way Alabama fans wanted it to? No. But I will tell you, if Clemson's season ends the way Alabama's did last year, maybe not getting blown out, but playing in the college football playoffs, advancing around, losing in the Rose Bowl or something like that, Clemson fans will be ecstatic with Christopher Vizzina.
With a big spoon, they'd eat that up, and making back to the playoffs.
That's right, and it resulted in him being a first-round draft pick. So there is that perception out there, no doubt. If you're starting a guy that's been in your program and hasn't played for 2 or 3 years, I think people do start to think, how good could this kid be? Why would he have not have transferred if he were that good? I think it's a fool's errand to just assume because a kid has decided to stick around in a program, he's not good enough to transfer somewhere. Yeah. Now, this kid, I mean, Vizzina may not be. I hope he is. He's from Birmingham, so I hope he does well. But I don't think you can just say he's a dud quarterback because he never transferred anywhere. That's unfair to him.
Some of our audience has written this kid off before they've even seen him. And I would say some of our audience sees him standing at the podium here probably for the first time seeing him.
I would agree with that.
And hearing him.
And they think he's 6'9".
And their first impression is this guy is put together a little bit better than I thought he was, coming from private school Briarwood out of Birmingham, Alabama.
Well, in case you wonder, his listed height is 6'4".
Yeah.
That, I believe, is a low podium. But he is 6'4". He's not a small kid.
Yeah.
Now, that's his listed height, so maybe in college he's 6'2", 6'3", but he's not a small kid for sure.
He's built like a quarterback.
Yeah.
We'll see if he plays like one. First start, man, as the full-time starter, Baton Rouge, Louisiana, primetime game.
Yeah, so that's an easy start, right?
That's
Lane Kiffin's first game.
That's thrown into the fire right there. But at some point, it'll be somebody's sexy upset pick in week 1.
What? Clemson over LSU?
Clemson over LSU.
Oh, that's interesting.
It'll be somebody.
We'll see.
Maybe a lot of people's sexy upset pick, Clemson over LSU.
Could be a guy wearing a mask.
Yeah, could be. We'll find out. New York Butcher Shop, a place to go wherever you are buying your meat, wherever you're going to get your meat. Consider New York Butcher Shop. They are terrific here in our area. Maybe you've got one in your area. For us, it's Cahaba Heights and Greystone, nybutcher.com, nybutcher.com. The fresh meat, the specialty items, their deli sandwiches. I'm just back from New York, and that Katz sandwich you get in New York, I can get that same sandwich right there at New York Butcher Shop for lunch or dinner. It is absolutely terrific. The steaks, the prepared meals, all of that. Go by and check them out, nybutcher.com. And also our friends at Crane U, Brownie. Crane U, if you're looking to change careers.
That's right. They can do training in the crane industry, very lucrative industry there, the crane industry. You're all in one destination for training and certification. So from a first-time operator to a seasoned professional that is looking for recertification, the industry-leading training programs at Crane U are built for all experience levels. They're backed by a team of more than 100 years of combined real-world expertise. They deliver the knowledge, hands-on skills, and confidence you need to succeed in the field. You want to find out more? And by the way, they can come to you. CraneUOnline.com, CraneUOnline.com.
Follow LT on Twitter at @TheLanceTaylor.
You know, sometimes injury attorneys get a bad rep, being called ambulance chasers, showing up to the accident scene before the EMTs get there. At Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorneys, this ain't that. We get enough cardio, no need to chase ambulances. Look, if you're injured in any type of accident, don't accept a dime from the insurance company. Hit up the gators of the litigation situation. Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorneys. Call 659-777-7777 or AlexWins.law.
Call me, Alabama. Physical office location, Birmingham. Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Never miss anything from the next round when you listen on demand through the podcast platform of your choice. Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcasts. Wherever you listen, always like, follow, subscribe, and turn on automatic downloads so you catch every part of the next round. Listen anywhere in the world at any time on the Next Round podcast feed and support the show by following, subscribing, and turning on automatic downloads on any podcast platform. Thanks for always making the next round a big part of your day.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from the Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
The 2026 Yellowwood 500 weekend is returning to the Talladega Superspeedway Friday, October 23rd through Sunday, October 25th. The triple header chase weekend at Talladega features 3 days of high-intensity racing across 3 series, capping off with the Yellowwood 500 on Sunday. Guarantee your spot now by visiting TalladegaSuperspeedway.com or calling 877-GO-TO-DEGA. And enhance your race weekend by adding passes to the Talladega Garage Experience, the most immersive in NASCAR. 877-GO-TO-DEGA or TalladegaSuperspeedway.com.
Some of you that are watching us that may be new may roll to an Alabama home game this year. If you've never been, or if you're used to going to Alabama home games, remember our friends at Innisfree. They've given us our countdown to kickoff every day on the show this off season. 8 days until week 0. Our game day countdown brought to you by Innisfree. The number is 8 today, and your game day tradition is Innisfree Irish Pub in Tuscaloosa and Lakeview. Irish-inspired pub food, the signature Irish gold sauce, and always a world-class atmosphere. Our great friends at Innisfree, just 8 days away. Brandon Walker, I like the guy. He started his own football show from Barstool now. Had Todd McShay on, I think it was yesterday. I saw it floating around social media. And McShay said on the Brandon Walker college football show that this is going to be, paraphrasing here, this is going to be the best quarterback year in the history of college football.
Wow.
That when you look at the quarterbacks that are back, the young guns that are here, the talent that's been spread around college football because of the portal, the guys that didn't go pro, that decided to come back, that this will be the best year of quarterback play in the history of college football. And I can't disagree with him.
Well, I mean, to his point, you've got several guys that would have been in the NFL draft if not for NIL, right?
You start with that fact that okay, in the past, some of these guys would have gone and been drafted as a second or third round guy to get their pro clock started so they can get that big paycheck. And that's not happening.
No. I mean, I guess you would start and I don't. Did McShay name names? Did he name names, or you just? Okay.
I think there was a graphic that they sent out that had 16 faces on it, and,
right,
and didn't include guys like Keelan Russell.
Yeah,
didn't include guys like Kevin Jennings of SMU. I like to call him Ken, but Kevin.
Yeah, sure.
Jennings at
you like him. You like him better on Jeopardy than you do at SMU. Yeah,
I knew that was a familiar name. I'm just saying there is a reason why he says it, and I don't necessarily disagree with him.
Well, I mean, again, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. I don't know if he's saying this from the standpoint of production, from the standpoint of these guys going to the NFL or what, or both. I mean, those can go hand in hand, obviously.
Well, I would say just college production. Forget the NFL. McShay, I know, scouts for the NFL.
Well, which is why I said that.
Yeah.
I didn't know if that was the angle he was coming from there.
But let me just bounce around.
Okay.
Arch Manning, obviously. Trinidad Chambliss. I mean, this guy was all world last year.
He was.
And we're automatically thinking he's going to be – this is the problem with Trinidad Chambliss. He doesn't have his play caller anymore.
Right.
All those coaches that left with Lane that stayed for the playoff run are gone now. Can the guys who are still in Oxford make it happen?
I will bring up, when Daniel Jeremiah – now, this is going to be from the perspective of the NFL, but when Daniel Jeremiah was on our show and we asked him any intriguing players he saw, he said one of the most intriguing players he's watched so far is Trinidad Chambliss. Now, he brings up his size, but he did say if Bryce Young can be a starter in the NFL, I'm not concerned about his size. But he called him one of the most intriguing guys he's watched, and it wasn't just system. Like an NFL guy watching that was like, this guy can play on the next level.
And listen, as we have this discussion here, I'm not talking about them going on to being NFL Hall of Famers or playing in the NFL. I'm talking about them as college quarterbacks this year. McShay saying this is going to be the best year of college quarterback play. So take the NFL out of it. I'm talking about as college quarterbacks. Arch, Trinidad, Gunnar Stockton, proven, Mateer, Levitt, Byron Brown, Marcel Reed, Lenore Sellers, Austin Simmons, Kamario Taylor, Keelan Russell, Minchie, KJ Jackson, Philo, Jared Curtis, 5-star freshman. By the way, those are just SEC guys. You see what I did there?
I did. You just named the SEC.
Those are just SEC
Because I was like,
guys.
when's he going to say my guy Josh Hoover?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just the SEC. And then you start bouncing around to the Big Ten. Dante Moore, Josh Hoover, Julian Sayin.
Yeah. Who, and I know you've said this numerous times, a lot of people don't even think has a good NFL future, Julian Sayin.
Right.
But will tear it up in all likelihood on the collegiate level.
And then you get to the kid at Texas Tech that's filling in for the
Will
Gambler.
Hammond.
Yeah.
For the Gambler.
Yeah. The guy that didn't know when to hold him or fold him. He's jumping in there. And Will is going to be everything you hear from camp is this guy's good. And he's living up to expectations.
And Jade Maeva at USC.
Maeva at USC.
I mean, Rocco Becht is in his 70th year of college football, but he's doing it at Penn State
At Penn
now.
State.
Yeah.
Mensa down at Miami.
Yeah, who's supposed, everybody thinks it's going to be spectacular. We just played Vizzina from Clemson. I mean, what if this guy has a breakout year that nobody saw coming? I mean, I can see it. I think in a lot of ways, it cuts both ways. I think collegiately, there's so much now carryover from what kids are being asked to do in high school to what they're doing collegiately that doesn't necessarily always translate to the NFL. But I think probably better than ever right now, high school court, and see if you agree with this. And I mean, I'd ask Luganbill. Luganbill's going to be with us Monday. I think right now we're in a generation where quarterback play is translating better from the high school level to the college level than it ever has. What you're being asked to do in high school, you're being asked to do a lot of the same things collegiately.
It didn't start with Gus Malzahn, but those coaches,
Malzahn, Chad Morris,
all those
Art
coaches,
Briles,
what they started running in high school.
That's right.
They started running it in college, and it spread. And now they're starting to run it more in the NFL. It's basically let the quarterback get the ball and make plays, RPOs, and okay, I'm going to run it, I'm going to pass it. I'm the point guard on the basketball team. Here we go. And the quarterback has to be so good, and they have to be so good starting in high school doing that, and it carries over into college and now a little bit into the NFL. But on the college game, with the way the college game is played now, Todd McShay is right. I mean, it's not – I don't think it's always very hard to say the smartest thing on the Brandon Walker Coaches Show.
Wow.
Or college football show. I actually like the guy a whole lot.
You started by saying that.
He
Yeah.
is so entertaining. But Todd McShay, I thought, with a brilliant comment there.
Yeah.
This is if you love quarterback play in college football, I mean, who's got a quarterback problem? Of any of the, not just the contenders, who's bad at quarterback? I mean, who's bad at quarterback?
No, you're right. You're right.
And just in the SEC, who's bad at quarterback?
Well, I mean, somebody's going to be. I mean, somebody's not going to pan out.
I mean, even Tennessee probably is the biggest question mark at quarterback, and you've got potential as much of a potential star in Keelan Russell at Alabama. Faison Brandon's supposed to be that for them.
But, and I'm not doing this to take a shot at the two of you. I'm just saying both of you thought Jackson Arnold, when he transferred from Oklahoma to Auburn, would flourish at Auburn. I'm just saying there will be bad quarterback play in the SEC this year. I mean, John Mateer last year started off really good and couldn't sustain it.
He got injured.
He did, but I don't believe it's all injury personally.
I mean, who's bad at quarterback?
Going into the season, nobody.
And when can you say that in the history of the SEC? When can you say
you're right?
Nobody is bad at quarterback, and nobody's bad at quarterback.
Who will be? I'll tell you who it was last year.
And there are some of you right now. Okay, Kentucky. Well, Minchie looks pretty darn good when he's had a chance to get.
Everybody says Kentucky because you're viewing Mark Stoops' Kentucky. This is actually a good offensive coach. This is head coach of Kentucky. All right, real quick.
And the Blaze guy is battling Jarrett Curtis. I know you guys make fun of me bringing up Blaze at the
I like
at Vandy, but that guy's battling for playing time.
Statistically, he played in 11 games. Kamario Taylor was the worst. He was number 16 last year.
I'd go to battle with Kamario Taylor right now.
Jackson Arnold was number 15. I think if you ask most people who was the worst quarterback in the SEC last year, they'd say Jackson Arnold.
Yeah. Or did he have the worst coach?
DJ Lagway was 14th. Bo Pribula was 13th. Cutter Boley was 12th. These guys, just does not sound like the same names, does it?
Does it not sound much better this year?
It does sound much better.
That's just That's just the SEC.
Now, keep in mind, Blake Shapen was technically the state starter, but there was some back and forth.
I mean, where is the bad quarterback play? Anywhere in college football. Give me anyone who is going to factor into any of the race this year. Has got bad quarterback. Navy's got a great quarterback. I mean, UNLV is supposed to be good. They've got Jackson Arnold. We'll know how bad Hugh Freeze was at coaching if Dan Mullins gets Jackson Arnold playing good.
By the way, is what is going to happen there. I'm going to go ahead and tell you, Jackson Arnold's going to have a good year at UNLV, and it's going to become a Hugh Freeze referendum. Not that matters because he's not coaching anymore.
It's different competition.
It is different. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't
still
matter, but that's going to be a storyline, I guarantee you. Who do if you had to?
Even Nico Amilieva at UCLA is back again.
Well, can Bob Chesney get more out of him?
Sneaky bowl team this year, UCLA.
It's just a bowl team?
Well, I mean, it's UCLA, dude. I mean, I said UCLA. I didn't say USC.
I'm aware. Do you think they can pull? I'm going to pull their schedule here. We haven't looked much at UCLA. You think can they ruin it for somebody? Here are the contenders they play. They're at Oregon.
No.
They're at Michigan, and they host USC. They've actually got a pretty favorable schedule.
Yeah, they can beat Michigan. That's a home game, Michigan?
No, they're in Ann Arbor, and it's in November, so it's going to be cold weather.
Okay. Yeah, but can you get them to 6 wins?
Oh, yeah, listen to the schedule. They're probably at 6 wins, Jim. I mean, actually, Bob,
sneaky bowl team.
Yeah, listen to the schedule. At Cal, host San Diego State. Now, that's two tricky games to start with, honestly.
Could be 0-2.
Yeah, at Cal and host San Diego State. But then listen to this Big Ten schedule. Purdue at home.
Win.
At Maryland.
Win.
Yeah, but you got to go cross country. That's your concern there.
You still make it sound like we're in
horse and buggy.
Horse and wagon.
Yes. At Oregon, loss.
We have jet planes.
At Oregon, loss. So they're 2-3.
Okay.
But then listen to this. Host Wisconsin, very winnable game. Host Michigan State, very winnable game. Host Nevada, should win. At Minnesota, Illinois, they host. At Michigan, USC. It's kind of a tough finish for them.
Yeah.
I can find 6 wins there. Yeah, they can get in a bowl.
Sneaky bowl win. You see the schedule there.
Yeah, I mean, if Bob Chesney somehow pulled off at 8-4, he's going to get discussion for your National Coach of the Year, and they may not beat a ranked team in those 8.
I mean, split that. I mean, I know it's UCLA versus Cal, UCLA versus San Diego State. I actually would take Cal or San Diego State both to beat UCLA, but split those first 2, and I think you get into a bowl game.
By the way, that Cal game, 9:30 ESPN kick. You get to go to sleep on that first Saturday night watching UCLA at Cal.
I don't
It's
go
a
to
pretty
sleep
good
on
game.
Saturday nights.
I don't either, but that's a pretty good game there. UCLA at Cal for that late game.
Yeah.
I think he has not been announced as the announcer there, but I think that's where you're going to find our buddy Tom Hart doing those games. I think he's going to get that late Pac-12 game a lot. From what, just looking at his crew assignment, who he's with, that crew had the late Pac-12 game.
Yeah.
Because he's with Roddy Jones, and I can't remember. I think Quint Kesnick on the sidelines, maybe. Could be wrong about that.
Yeah.
So you'll be Tom Hart. I mean, you say at Cal, Tom Hart. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
Good quarterback game. Cal's
Yeah.
got a great quarterback. That's another one. So I can't say his name, but he's fantastic.
But he's good.
He's fantastic. All right. Our friends at McCurry Truck and Car Rental bringing you part of our college football conversation here.
So you mentioned the fact that there are going to be some college football road trips. Perhaps you've got that big road trip planned, but you need something a little bit bigger to carry the whole crew in. That's where our friends from McCurry can come in handy for you. McCurry Van and Car Rental, they've got those big passenger vans, but they've also got just your normal cars and trucks right there throughout North Alabama. They can get you in and out quick. They make it easy on you, the trucks, SUVs, passenger vans that you might need for that bigger trip. Athens, Muscle Shoals, Huntsville, Coleman on 2nd Avenue Northwest, and Skyland Boulevard in Tuscaloosa. Call and get your rental today, 256-559-1003. That's 256-559-1003. Or McCurryRentals.com.
Some win totals here before we wrap up with Sport and State. Don't forget NASCAR tickets, TalladegaSuperspeedway.com, TalladegaSuperspeedway.com. Coming in November, you can see the world's best drivers in the NASCAR circuit in a playoff setting at the Yellowwood 500. Garage experience unlike anything else in NASCAR at Talladega. So get your tickets now and upgrade with the Garage Experience, TalladegaSuperspeedway.com. October 23rd through the 25th. Get a truck race on Friday, an O'Reilly Series race on Saturday, and then the Yellowwood 500 playoff race on Sunday. There's nothing like it like Talladega. Get your tickets now, TalladegaSuperspeedway.com. Our friends with Hard Rock Casino, Hard Rock Bet, they have some win totals here. In the SEC, Brownie, yesterday we talked about the Josh Pate viewer who said his bold prediction is no 10-win team in the SEC. Is Auburn a good overplay to play over their win total? What is their win total at Hard Rock Bet?
6.5. So you got to get Auburn to 7 wins.
Is that a good play? 7 wins. Give me Forrester's Mike. You're an Auburn guy. You bleed orange and blue. You tiger walk around your house. You watch the eagle fly whenever you can.
In boxer shorts.
You roll things with toilet paper. So
the eagle actually circled my house this morning.
Very good. I like that.
Good way to start a Friday.
Yeah, Scott flies around his living room and then perches on top of his couch at the beginning of every game.
Your Auburn glasses, 7 wins. You can see it, can't you?
I can see it, man. I just I've been burned, like just show me. I don't I'll believe it when I see it.
So you're suffering from ABS, Auburn battered syndrome.
Yes, absolutely.
You've been beaten up the last 5 years.
So answer me this. What do you think Auburn's road conference record is? And here you go. Here you go. At Tennessee, at Georgia, at Ole Miss, at State, and at Alabama. What's their road conference record?
0-5.
Oh, how you getting them to 7 wins then?
But that was just me.
I mean, if they're 2-3, that's almost miraculous of that road schedule. If they're 1-4, that's probably expected. So now you got to beat Baylor at technically a neutral site. It's a home game for you, but you got to win all your home games there, and you can only drop one if you grab one road game. Now, that's doable because you play Baylor, Southern Miss, Florida, Vandy. LSU is obviously quite difficult. Arkansas, Samford at home. That is a doable home schedule for Auburn. Auburn can go undefeated on that home schedule.
Brooks Austin writes for Hard Rock Bet.
Mm-hmm.
Does he like Auburn over?
You can read this at hardrock.bet. Brooks, the film guy, did it yesterday. Hardrock.bet, he does not. He likes Auburn under the 6.5. I think he's looking at what I'm looking at. Is that isn't That is a tailor-made 0-5 road schedule. Not saying Auburn's losing all those games, but I am saying if you go out and project those games, it is easy to get to 0-5 on the road. Well, now you got to sweep your home games, which obviously is doable, but you got to toss up with Florida. Vandy is no pushover anymore. LSU, you'll probably be an underdog against them. I mean, if you're 0-5 on the road, you're going to have to win all 7 of those home games.
What does Brooks like other in his story there?
What do you want, overs or unders?
I just want good plays. Over or under.
He likes Georgia over 9.5.
That would be a 10-win SEC team. I can see that.
Georgia over 9.5. He likes State over 4.5.
Mississippi State over 4.5.
Yeah. Whew. I mean, that's a good job by our guy, Jeff Levy, there, if he can get them to 5 wins.
Well, I said this on social media last night, this morning, last night and this morning, whenever I posted it, off of what Matt Wyatt told us yesterday. It was a good way of recirculating our social media by commenting on it and sending it out.
Well done. Thanks, Scott and Brooks. Thank you for that.
Yeah, I appreciate them.
And thank you for your service, Jim.
I appreciate you guys never telling me thank you, but maybe in our next meeting you guys throw me a bone.
Jim sent a retweet. We want to thank him for that.
Yeah. So here, I just feel like their quarterback is so good, they're going to get somebody they're not supposed to get. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, but Jim,
who is that?
But they could easily start 1-2. And then you face Missouri and Alabama at home.
Yeah.
I mean, at Minnesota and at South Carolina are really difficult games for them.
But I say, okay, they could get somebody they're not supposed to get because their quarterback is just that good.
Yeah. Like
I would say Alabama, LSU, Oklahoma, Texas, Ole Miss is the category I'm talking about. Those 5 games.
Where you get 2 of them at home, Bama and Oklahoma.
Can they upset one of those teams because their quarterback is just so dang good?
Yes, they can. Your home games would be your more obvious ones. That's Bama and Oklahoma. I can't remember what's around that for Oklahoma, but I can just say at any point in the season it falls in a difficult stretch for Oklahoma because that's all Oklahoma has. Is a difficult stretch.
To your point, though, Minnesota's no pushover.
No, not
South
at all.
Carolina obviously is
far
not.
from it. Yeah.
So there's only 2 wins on the schedule.
La Monroe and Tennessee Tech. Yep.
That you go, okay, I can go ring my cowbell, eat my dairy right off the farm, produce ice cream, and enjoy the great tailgating scene. I love it there on campus there in Starkville. Love it.
Like if they're winless on the road, you're not stunned at that. They've lost at Minnesota, South Carolina, LSU, Texas, and Ole Miss.
No, that would not shock me.
Okay. Now I got to find some home wins.
But Brooks likes the over.
He does like the over 4.5. He likes Oklahoma over 7.5. Boy, I feel like this is the team we've talked about their win total all off season. He says it feels disrespectful to have them at 7.5. Disrespectful.
It seems like it's a misprint to have Oklahoma at 7.5.
Until you look at this schedule, and then you're like, holy crap, they've got to go to Michigan, to Georgia, to Florida. They play Texas neutral site. Then, I mean, you can't sleep on going to State. We just talked about it.
Yeah. It does look like it's – if you beat Michigan, it looks like 8-4 is your worst-case scenario. That's
probably.
Over.
That'd be an over.
If you beat Michigan, UTEP, Michigan, New Mexico, Kentucky, Mississippi State, South Carolina, Florida, Missouri. That gets you 8.
Yeah. Those are, by the way, the 3 overs he likes. No, I'm sorry, Ole Miss. He likes Ole Miss over 7.5 as well.
That's the one I think can burn some people.
Yeah. He says it's very easy, Brooks Austin says, the film guy, to see them going 8-4.
Which would be a disappointment.
It would be.
Yep.
I tell you, that first game probably is your swing game on 7-5, 8-4.
For both of those, Oklahoma and Ole Miss, Louisville week 1 for Ole Miss, Michigan week 2 for Oklahoma.
Yeah, those are big swing games on your totals.
You know what else they are? They're big reputation games for the SEC.
I agree. Yeah.
Those are bad SEC brand losses. Mm-hmm. The shirt I'm wearing today, bad loss for the brand, for the shield, if you will.
It's tough schedule for Ole Miss. I mean, I know a lot of these schedules are tough, but, I mean, having to go to Texas, having to go to Oklahoma, having to go to Florida, and still at home you get that emotional LSU game. You still got to play Georgia at home. Auburn at home. I mean, Auburn falls between a road trip at Texas and a home game to Georgia. That's a tough spot to have to play Auburn.
Brooks, starting Monday, we've got a hard out here on this outbreak here. Can you give me that time again so I can practice hitting the hard out? It's been since our radio days I've had to hit a hard out.
Exactly 1 minute.
59:30?
59:30.
Okay, 59:30.
Do we want Tyler to play a bump up to that?
I don't. I didn't like the bump. Did you?
Well,
it did give us a little.
It gives me a cue that we're close to the out, and I'm not used to the hard out.
Yeah,
so.
it's like when they're trying to get the pasture off the
that's
stage.
right. Yeah.
See, I don't like when Feinbaum says, we'll continue after this, or we're only just getting started, and then there's a pause before they hit the break because they're hitting a hard break.
Yeah, I think we need an out bump.
So a little music would be good.
So, Tyler, this is our trial run that we're talking through live on air.
That's right.
I got you. I'll pull some music in the next 20 seconds to hit for an outro.
No, you don't have to do it today, but I'm saying starting Monday, it probably would not hurt.
Yeah, I'll find something.
This for those watching, this is where the sport and state part of the show would end, coming up here in 8 seconds, and I've got to get used to hitting hard outs again.
59:50 or 59:30?
59:30.
Oh, you better hurry.
This is sport and state.
Follow Scott Forrester on Twitter at ScottForresterTV.
Dump trucks, delivery vans, tankers, 18-wheelers, 35 types of commercial vehicles share the road with you every day. When one hits you, trust me, the company's lawyers are already moving. You should be too. Over $2 billion recovered. Alexander Shunnarah trial attorneys are ready to fight for you. Call 659-777-7777 or visit alexwins.law for your free case evaluation. Don't wait. Alexander Shunnarah trial attorneys. 659-777-7777. alexwins.law. Physical offices, Birmingham.
Sterling and the fine folks at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster want to welcome you in for a great lunch or dinner starting at 11 a.m. every day. Chicken that's brined overnight and cooked to order, and the taste of the Delta with those Delta recipe tamales. Champy's is perfect for all your tailgating needs this football season. You can also choose Champy's for your next party, wedding, or birthday. Great food, great people. Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster, and everything online at champyschicken.com.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Next Round shirts, Next Round hoodies, and Next Round hats all in one place, nextround.store. Find your favorite piece of gear from your favorite show and put it in your rotation. You never know, you might be in one of our videos showing Next Round gear being worn all over the world. Find all of your favorite Next Round gear by visiting nextround.store. Place an order for you and that big Next Round fan in your life at nextround.store. Look your best at work, at school, at the stadium, or anywhere you go wearing Next Round gear from nextround.store.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from The Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
The 2026 Yellowwood 500 weekend is returning to the Talladega Superspeedway Friday, October 23rd through Sunday, October 25th. The triple header chase weekend at Talladega features 3 days of high-intensity racing across 3 series, capping off with the Yellowwood 500 on Sunday. Guarantee your spot now by visiting TalladagaSuperspeedway.com or calling 877-GO-TO-DEGA, and enhance your race weekend by adding passes to the Talladega Garage Experience, the most immersive in NASCAR. 877-GO-TO-DEGA or TalladagaSuperspeedway.com.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Back with you, hour 3 of the Next Round. Champy's Chicken brings you this hour. It is tailgating season, man. We got more football tonight. What do we have tonight? We have Jets and Steelers.
Yeah.
At 6 o'clock Central on the NFL Network. Carolina and Jacksonville.
Wouldn't watch in your backyard, would you?
I mean, if you were going to eliminate 2 franchises, would it not be those 2?
I mean, I don't particularly love either one of them. I will agree. They came in at the same time.
Yeah.
You didn't like it then either?
No, I did. Green Bay and Denver, 9 Eastern, 8 Central tonight. That's the only 3 games tonight?
That is the only 3 games tonight, yeah.
Big weekend on Saturday and Sunday in the NFL. Champy's Chicken, get your tailgating, man. Take it home, watch the game. Coming up in 8 days, you got week 0 games, and then you start going to Jordan Hare or to Bryant Denny and taking that deep-fried chicken that's brined overnight, cooked to order, Mississippi Delta recipe tamales, hand-cut chicken fingers, and so much more. It's champyschicken.com. But, hey, don't forget they're open for lunch right now and also dinner as well right there on Highway 119 in Alabaster. Go by and see Sterling. Tell him we said hi at champyschicken.com. We'll get to our 40 and 40 in just a second. Those over and unders were interesting. Todd McShay's comments were interesting. And then I saw an Andy Staples story that Andy and Ari, I love their podcast, Ari Wasserman, Andy Staples on 3. And Andy wrote, and they had a discussion on their show about the potential of having another number 1 versus number 2 matchup in the regular season this year.
One game comes to mind.
Well, everyone thought it would probably be Texas-Ohio State week 2, and then Texas got put where they got put, and they're not going to close that gap fast enough.
Not enough teams will lose in front of them. That was not the one I was thinking of, though.
Which one were you thinking of?
Well, and I don't think it will happen, but it would. I mean, these 2 teams could be undefeated when they face one another, Miami and Notre Dame.
Miami and Notre Dame.
Late enough in the season, they could be 1 and 2.
That stays on the Andy Staples list. He whittles through the whole season.
Now, keep in mind, by the time that game rolls around, we'll be using the college football playoff rankings. So that could, now it often reflects the AP, but it may not. You know, I mean, Miami may have looked good enough, and they're neither one of them could have a ranked win, but they could both be, right there at 1 and 2.
Yeah. That's one that he holds onto throughout the whole process of eliminating games.
I'll give you another one off the radar one. I don't think it'll happen, but it would have potential. These 2 are playoff teams, Texas and Texas A&M at the end of the year. I mean, it's going to require, obviously, it's going to require Sark to not screw up a game, and it's going to require Elko to actually finish. I mean, they've been in position to be there. They just can't finish the deal. But, I mean, will that stun you if Texas and Texas A&M were 1 and 2, undefeated?
At the end of the year, going through an SEC schedule, it would stun me.
Okay.
Yeah, that both of them are unbeaten and number 1 and number 2 at that point.
Oddly, there is nothing Alabama could do to close the gap enough, even if Georgia were to reach number 1. And I don't know that Georgia could reach number 1 that quickly. So that one would be off the table.
That was one he worked through the process, but ended up not landing on.
Alabama's got too far to go. I mean, they're 13th right now. That is a lot of spots to climb without any significant wins.
So after working through the whole season of potential ones and all the ones you're naming, Andy Staples on 3 Sports worked through it all. He came down with 3
that
ended up being the best potential 1 versus 2 matchup. Maybe if you gave me the AP top 25 poll, Forrester, that would help get this into place. One of them, November 7th, is Miami and Notre Dame.
Yep.
Notre Dame currently is 4th. Miami is 7th.
Yeah, but
you're so late in the year by then. The other power conference teams have lost a game.
Easily. I mean, Ohio State and Texas, one of those two is going to lose. You know, I think Ohio State has played Oregon by then. Georgia and Alabama have played by then.
Yeah. So by the time you get there, it could be this, right?
Yeah.
It could be in the AP poll. That's a 1-2 matchup.
That's right.
In the college football playoff rankings.
It may still be 1-2 if they're both undefeated.
This is November 7th. I think the first college football playoff rankings would have come out that Tuesday.
Monday or Tuesday. Yeah, whatever it is. Yeah.
So this will be the first one. But there's a chance that it would be like number 1 versus number 3 in the college football playoff rankings, number 1 versus number 2.
If they're the 2 remaining undefeated teams, which they very well could be at that point, I would think they're 1 and 2 in the college football playoff with those name brands.
He has 2 October dates that are potential, and he whittled through all of them. These are the 3 best chances. October 10th, he has currently number 5 Texas and currently number 10 Oklahoma. Red River 1 versus 2.
Boy, I tell you what, there's a lot of teams that are going to have to lose in front. Well, now, look, Oklahoma will have played Michigan and will have played Georgia by then. So if they can get those 2 wins on the road, Oklahoma could skyrocket up those. In fact, they might jump Texas. They might be the number 1 team if you got number 1 versus number 2.
Well, Texas would
of course, Texas would have beat Ohio State, wouldn't they?
Yeah, would have already beaten Ohio State.
Yeah, so I could see that. I mean, it's... You know, Georgia would be out of the way because Oklahoma would have beaten them at that point. Yeah.
And then the other one is, I think, the one we had last year. October 17th. Didn't we have 1 versus 2 last year? Was Ohio State and Indiana 1 versus 2 last year? Did they play last year? Or did they not play last year?
I don't think they played last year, did they?
Didn't we have a 1 versus 2 somewhere last year?
I can't think of one. Brooks?
Indiana, Ohio State, Big Ten Championship.
Big Ten
Championship. But in regular
season
season, there was
the
not
regular
one.
season. But in Big Ten Championship, it was Indiana, Ohio State.
That's the only one we had.
Yeah, October 17th. They played this year in the regular season. And Ohio State is 1 right now, and Indiana is 6. And if Indiana's unbeaten, easy to see them ride up. If Ohio State hasn't lost yet, they've got some big wins. Indiana would have big wins by October 17th.
Yeah.
And then Miami and Notre Dame. So of those 3, which do you think's most likely?
I will go Miami Notre Dame just because you look at, man, we've done this a lot. You look at Miami's schedule. Clemson is the big game that would stand between them being undefeated or not, and they could very well lose that game. I think Notre Dame, I mean, who's going to beat Notre Dame between now and then? I think you've got potential of those 2 teams not only being undefeated, but also Georgia having taken a loss to somebody, Alabama or Oklahoma by then. Oregon losing to Ohio State. Ohio State or Texas, one of those is going to lose that game. So you got a lot of teams that have a potential to take a loss in there, and those are such easy paths for Miami and Notre Dame. If you've got a 1v2, I think it'll be Miami Notre Dame.
All right. So it's a fascinating read from Andy as he walks through the process, and he takes it week by week of potential 1 versus 2 games and why they will not be or could be.
But isn't it funny how – I'm not saying I wouldn't get excited about that, but we get it so often now. It used to be such a big deal. Like Miami Notre Dame, oddly, were they 1-2 when they played Catholics versus convicts? I think
they were.
But then
yes.
I think you had Notre Dame, Florida State in '93. Catholics versus convicts was '88, I believe. And Notre Dame, Florida State met in a 1-2 matchup in '93, if memory serves, in South Bend.
We just told you only had 1 last year, and it was in the Big Ten championship game.
But but it used to be far less. We get it every year now in the national championship game.
No, I mean,
I mean, it's you get a national. I'm just saying, you get a national championship game on the field. It's the last 2 teams standing.
Yeah, 1 versus 2 is still a rarity.
It is, but it doesn't feel like it's as impactful as it used to be.
Yeah.
Just because.
I understand what you're saying. Yeah.
Because you get the 2 last teams remaining playing for the national championship.
It doesn't necessarily feel like a game of the century.
Right.
That Big Ten championship, I remember us talking about it on the show, was perhaps the least hyped 1 versus 2 game ever.
There's my point.
Because loser was still going to be in the playoffs.
That's right. It was for a first round bye. That's really about all it was for.
Yeah. In fact, I chose to drive back from Atlanta and not stay in Atlanta and watch the game. I listened to it on radio.
It was actually a pretty entertaining game, though.
Yeah.
But then Texas, Ohio State was 1 versus 3 last year to kick off the season.
Yeah,
So
something like that,
It was
yeah.
close.
Yeah. Should have been 1 versus 2, probably. Anyway, a really good read, Andy Staples. Credit to him. Go check it out on 3 Sports and enjoy that content there. Before we do our 40 and 40 today, brought to you by our friends at Hoover Toyota, I want to remind you that Boiling and Bragging is happening this weekend, benefiting Children's of Alabama, right near Odie's, and Odie's helps out with this as well. They provide some cocktails and everything going on, food close by, but Boiling and Bragging in the library yard there in the parking lot near Odie's, just that whole area of the Mountain Brook area is part of Boiling and Bragging. Benefits go to Children's of Alabama. It's your chance to get the tailgating starting this year. Go to the website, Boiling, the letter N, Bragging, boilingandbragging.com, and check out all the details. There is still room for you to get tickets and come enjoy the great tailgating food and the live music and the celebration of college football, all for a good cause, helping out our fine friends at Children's of Alabama, local children's hospital here, boilingandbragging.com, and you can get tickets at the gate.
Can I add something to this? Scott can show this. So Jason was up here the other day, the pilot for the children's transport there, and he left this behind. You know what this is?
That is a thing you put on an infant's finger to do the heartbeat.
If only. It's a blood pressure cuff. So you would put this on an infant's arm. Look how small this is.
Yeah.
So those are that's the size of some of the children they're having to deal with the critical care transport. If that doesn't put it in perspective, like a normal blood pressure cuff goes around your bicep, and that goes around the bicep of some of the kids they're having to deal with there. That's crazy, isn't it? Look how small
really
that
is.
is. So that puts in perspective what they're helping raise money for there in that critical care transport with some of the children they have to get here to Birmingham.
And also our friends at Hoover Toyota, they bring us the 40 and 40 today at hoovertoyota.com.
That's right. Hoover Toyota. You can see their inventory and their great pricing right there online, hoovertoyota.com, or in person, Highway 150, John Hawkins Parkway in Hoover. Red Carpet Program going to keep you coming back. See everything at hoovertoyota.com.
All right, we'll do the top 5 next week, voted on by you, our viewers, and some of us on the show here. This week we've given you LSU, Texas A&M, Alabama at 8, Miami at 7. At number 6, disrespect us. Indiana, defending national champions, unbeaten, the first ever to go 16-0. And they're number 6 in our rankings this year. Maybe a better team, especially with more NFL players coming back and being eligible. Some of them going to Indiana. Kirk Signetti, man, on defending that national championship, Kurt.
Everybody that you guys play say y'all play with an edge, and I know a lot of that's got to be motivational and how you get them motivated. Coming off what you're coming off, what are you doing? How are you getting them to play with that edge? I know it's a different group of guys, but still.
I just think we're trying to get them to play to a standard more than anything else. You know, we have a certain way that we do things, process-driven, how we play the game. And we'll find the motivational edges as we get closer to the season. Right now, it's more about getting them to play up, to the standard.
Standard and process talk. Who does that sound like? Yeah.
It's
learn it from the best.
It's a bad copy for me. It's starting
You
to rub
don't
me the
like
wrong
this
way.
guy at all, do you?
Well, I mean, he's going to get all this credit for doing all this stuff, and basically he's just taking lyrics and notes that Nick Saban wrote. And
He's a cover band.
Yeah, that's exactly what he is. That's exactly what he is, a Nick Saban cover band.
He has gotten annoying.
Oh, I don't disagree, but I also think the guy is a very good football coach, and he's shown it. I want to do an exercise in a second with Indiana, if we could, if you would grant me just a moment to do an exercise. But talking about this upcoming season, obviously, still a very talented roster there. I personally think, I'm not saying they've upgraded at quarterback. Mendoza was the number 1 overall pick, Heisman Trophy winner, had a great year. I just don't think there's going to be a significant drop-off. I am a big Josh Hoover fan. I still think they are going to be very solid at quarterback, and I do think he's got a standard. He's got a system, and it is obviously working. Here was the exercise I wanted to do with them. They're on this big winning streak. Their Big Ten record has been spectacular since he's been there. They've only got the 1 regular season Big Ten loss at Ohio State. Frequently, those streaks, and they're less common now than they've ever been, but frequently they fall apart against a game you never see coming.
For instance, Alabama won the national championship in 1978 and 1979. In 79, they were unbeaten. So they carried this long win streak into the 1980 season. And they were playing lowly Mississippi State in Jackson, Mississippi.
Yeah.
And fumbled the game away.
6-3 loss, something like that. They fumbled the goal line.
6-3, fumbled several times in the game, including inside the 10-yard line a couple of times. And they lost the game 6-3. That ended the nation's longest win streak.
And another Alabama one, because they've had several win streaks. And then I'll give you a Miami one. But another Alabama one, after they won the 92 championship, they were on a long streak going all the way back to early in 91. They had not lost a game. They tied Tennessee in 93, but they still had not lost a game. And then a bad LSU team Curly Hallman coached LSU team, beat Alabama at Bryant-Denny Stadium to end that streak in 93. And that one had gone from early 91 all the way through without them losing a game. Miami did it too, and they played an Arizona team that upset them and ended their winning streak. So it's frequently where you don't see it coming from.
So give us the Indiana schedule here.
And you tell me, give me one where you could be like, okay, that was one I did not see coming. They open with North Texas, Howard,
the
and
schedule is on Mount Signetti here.
Yeah, it is a lot of Signetti, a lot of Trent Dilfer vibes
North
there.
Texas, Howard, and Western Kentucky.
Yeah,
what a
throw
joke
those
of
out.
a schedule.
Throw those out.
Northwestern. At Rutgers is when it starts getting interesting. At Nebraska, I think at Nebraska would be the
candidate.
the storyline you're talking about.
That's right.
Of one nobody sees coming.
Why, Jim? Because I'm 5-0. I'm highly ranked, and look what I've got the next 2 weeks. I've got Ohio State, and I'm at Michigan.
And God knows after they lose to Nebraska, he will use the phrase rat poison. We started to eat the rat poison.
He'll play the cover band hits.
Yeah. He'll come back out. You guys wanted encore. Here you go. I'm going to sing rat poison now.
Yeah. So with Ohio State and Michigan
and the Rutgers
on the horizon.
At Rutgers, they're going to win that game, but Rutgers is going to have 220 yards rushing, and he's going to say, they ran through us like shit through a tin horn.
Man.
Good night, everybody.
Yeah. Now, he cannot use the everybody on that field was in the NFL. Well, our guys were. Rutgers are going to be.
Please tell me his wife's name's Terry so he can start saying Miss Terry.
I mean, Nebraska has not won a top 25 game in forever.
I know.
And Matt Rule needs a big win.
Home game Nebraska before they have to play Ohio State.
That's right.
That is.
Ohio State, Michigan back-to-back. That's a little bit – we did trap games yesterday, a little bit of a trap game going to Nebraska. And can't believe I'm saying that about Nebraska.
And if for some reason they are still unbeaten through Ohio State, at Michigan, Minnesota, USC at home, that trip to Washington –
That's a tough game.
At that point after USC, they think, man, we've beaten Ohio State at Michigan, and we've beaten USC. We're cruising again, easy part of the schedule now, and you go to the Purple Rain at Washington. So if you're looking to what you're talking about – the collapse of a winning streak against somebody you don't expect it at Nebraska at Washington would be my two picks.
Yeah, I think that I brought it up because that Nebraska game sits at a weird time for them. Nobody's saying anything about Nebraska, and I understand why. Matt Rule needs a big win. Nebraska hasn't had one in forever. Indiana hasn't lost a game like that in a very long time. So those two things collide right before you play Ohio State and Michigan. Interesting game for them against Nebraska.
Yeah.
That's all I'll say. And
that's the one that popped for me.
Yep. Same for me. That's why I wanted to do that exercise to see if you saw it.
And just one more. We'll bring this back from Big Ten Media Days, Cut 8, just to make you fall in love with Kirk Signetti all over again. First of all, notable games that Purdue is on a slate tells you that's a stupid slate the Big Ten Network put up for that one. It's just because it's a rivalry doesn't make it notable.
Yeah, you could have done 3. You didn't have to have 4 on there.
Yeah,
graphic would have worked with 3.
Or you could have put Washington or Nebraska on there.
Yeah.
But here's Kirk Signetti once again, just in case you forget, the shot at the SEC.
The Big Ten is the best league in football, and a lot of really good football teams. It's hard to win on the road. Very physical football teams, very well coached. It definitely prepares you for the playoffs. There's no doubt about it. The numbers speak for themselves. I mean, we don't run a hype machine up here in the Midwest. We believe everything's earned, not given. And when we fall short, we say we fell short. We don't cry a river, whine, and complain. All right? And that's why we're the best.
Put that in my veins, and I'll be the biggest Rutgers and Nebraska fan as I can in October.
It's sad, man. The guy is such a good success story.
He is.
It is sad that
It's the head bob as he's saying it.
Yeah,
That gets me going.
no, listen, he can be annoying. I don't disagree with you. He can be abrasive. I think he revels in it, in fact.
He looks really smug in this frame.
He does. He looks smug almost all the time, Tyler. I don't disagree with you. And it's sad because it is such an incredible success story. I think his smugness or his perceived smugness, whichever it is, hurts that success story, which people would normally celebrate.
Back to Alabama scrimmage after Brownie tells us about the great folks at Mo Mike.
Mo Mike, our buddy Greg from Pell City, he goes around and jumps on roofs all the time. And a lot of times, those same people, they need a deck. So they would ask Greg, hey, you got a guy that does decks? And Greg was like, I don't right now. Let me go find somebody. So
a good deck guy?
A good deck guy. Scott's showing deck pics. That's what we're talking about here, Jim. Big decks. And Mo Mike was a guy that Greg found, and he introduced Mo Mike to some customers, and they really liked his work. So now Greg told Lance, hey, Lance, you need a new deck. Call my man Mo Mike. So he did. Mo Mike Construction LLC, where they don't just build decks, they build where life happens. 205-746-9901. Get Mo Mike to come out and do a evaluation of your deck and let him show you what he can do for you. Mo Mike Decks. Don't settle for an ordinary backyard. Build a destination your family and friends will enjoy for years to come. 205-746-9901 from Mo Mike. 205-746-9901.
All right, that's Mo Mike there. I'm interested. Was there any comments in the chat about my predictions, how I'm going to bet the first Alabama games?
Boy, it's been too far back.
Alabama giving the points on ECU.
I'd have to dig way back.
Taking Kentucky in the points.
So here's the problem.
Alabama giving Florida State, taking South Carolina points, taking Mississippi State in the points, Georgia money line.
Here's the problem. The chat is extremely active, which is not the problem. But the problem is I can only go so far back for some reason. I don't get the whole show.
Yeah.
So I think we're past the reset point where I can't, because they're as far back as I can go, people are talking about our over-unders there. Ole Miss, Oklahoma, Auburn, and all that. So I can't get that far back. I'm sorry.
Thank you for the answer. Here's Kalen DeBoer.
You're welcome.
Talking about the quarterbacks in the final scrimmage yesterday and what they showed. Now everyone from Chris Lowe's tweet seems to be giving the job to Keelan Russell. What did Alabama's head coach actually see in the scrimmage?
What did the quarterback show you today, and do you feel ready to make a decision after the second scrimmage?
Yeah, I mean, I think that, again, I'm looking at the whole thing. And of course, it does matter when you get to a scrimmage. And we scrimmage literally every day to some extent in practice, moving the ball, playing the situations. And so today was just more of that. And, you kind of get a pretty good idea. But stepping inside of Bryant Denny, kind of the day is really devoted to a scrimmage. And so, what do you got? It is important to perform at your best on a day like today. But I think it's just been consistent. I think, again, when I say pre-snap, it is everyone, but I think a lot of that starts with the quarterback, right? How he comes in the huddle. I think they're clean with, the command and calls and getting the line of scrimmage. I would say this, I think pre-snap, any checks, I felt like they were on it on another level than what they were a week ago, which is what you'd expect. And, we made a note of that, and they've improved on that drastically. So getting us in, more than anything, getting us out of bad calls and bad looks. And that's, a big part of the quarterback's job other than executing the play. So we'll work through it here this weekend, see where we're at, and just continue to discuss it as a coaching staff.
Well, I tell you, he has been given every opportunity to tip off who it is, and he has not bitten it one time. I mean, every single time he has praised both the guys and talked about how they both do things really, really well, and it's such a close competition. I mean, there has been no tip-off from Kalen DeBoer other than what potentially somebody said to Chris Lowe. There's been zero tip-off on who's getting this job.
Michelson Laser Vision brings us the viewing menu today. Trash coming up in the final segment. Tell us about Michelson.
969-8100, MichelsonLaserVision.com. That is where you go to find out more about LASIK surgery. Could be right for you and help that distance vision you've got. 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com. Contact Amy Tiller. You want that risk-free evaluation to see if LASIK surgery might be right for you. Michelson Laser Vision. 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com.
Alrighty, so new Insidious movie, saw it last night. It sucks. That
that
franchise
bad, huh?
has just fallen from grace, and it's honestly embarrassing to see how bad it is.
So you went back and watched all the Insidious.
Uh-huh.
And you said that was a struggle compared to rewatching Spider-Man.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then you did that to go watch this new one, and it even disappointed more than the rewatch.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. First Insidious.
It sounds like a massive waste of time.
It was. First Insidious movie, pretty solid, holds up okay. I never preferred it over stuff like The Conjuring or Sinister, but it was all right. And then the sequels just keeps going downhill, and then that hill turns into a cliffside, and that cliff just drops straight into a pit, and it goes on forever. Wouldn't recommend the new Insidious if you couldn't tell. So I will be watching Mutiny today. Cole Reed, played by Jason Statham, is framed for the murder of his billionaire industrialist boss. He goes on the run and boards a cargo ship on a relentless mission to clear his name, ultimately uncovering a massive global and international conspiracy tied to human trafficking. I think Jason Statham is at the point in his career where he says, I'm going to make one movie and make it slightly different every single year, because this is probably the 5th year in a row where there's just been a sort of lower budget Jason Statham action movie where he goes after human traffickers, and they're all a lot of fun.
Okay.
Yeah, like
I've never seen them.
If you know what you're getting into, then you'll enjoy it. Also in theaters, we've got the 25th anniversary of The Fast and the Furious, starring Vin Diesel and Paul Walker, and later on Ludacris. But the first one is a lot of fun, really cheesy. Paul Walker is going after a crew that's stealing DVD players and stereos.
That's how old it is?
Yeah, that's very early 2000s, and this franchise ends up evolving to where they go to space, and they're all like special agents. So it's nice to just see where they started from. But it's a lot of fun. I really like the first 3 movies.
Which one did we lose Paul Walker in?
7. The Making of 7. Okay. Next up, this Sunday, we've got an early access screening for one of my most anticipated movies of the year. If you are an avid Next Reel viewer, then you would know that I had this in my top 10 most anticipated movies of the year, and that is Coyote vs. Acme. After decades of disastrous product malfunctions and his endless pursuit of the Roadrunner, Wile E. Coyote decides to fight back. He hires a down-on-his-luck human billboard lawyer, Kevin Avery, played by Will Forte, to sue the Acme Corporation, facing off against slick corporate counsel Buddy Crane, played by John Cena, in a high-stakes court battle. This movie almost did not make it to public viewing. Warner Brothers wanted to shelve this and get the tax break for it, and then Ketchup Entertainment paid $50 million for it. And from every review so far, it is amazing.
Well, I would tell you this. I loved the animation growing up, and I never thought of it through a court case. But if I am paying all that money to get the Acme things that never work.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Why do I keep buying them?
It
first of
never
all?
works.
Yeah.
I
And
mean,
so
he
it's false
bought 'em-
advertisement or something.
I mean, how many products did he buy over, 50, 60 years
Yeah.
trying to catch the
two or
Roadrunner?
three an episode at times. Yeah.
Yeah. And so they don't want me on the jury because Acme's going to be paying some money back.
I'm siding with Wile E. Coyote.
No, I think if I'm on the jury, I'm like, you kept buying them. They never worked, but you kept shopping at Acme.
Yeah,
you
but
didn't
they
go
told me
elsewhere.
this. They told me that if I painted the tunnel,
They only offered store credit, Brownie.
Yeah, if I painted the tunnel with the Acme paint this time, that the Roadrunner he would run into the wall and die. He wouldn't run into a tunnel, and then I would run in there, and a train actually become
That's right.
a
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Such
you're
a
that
good
dumb.
bit.
It wasn't on the label.
It's a great bit.
But yeah, I'm really looking forward to this one. It's gotten rave reviews. At one point, even going up to a 101% on Rotten Tomatoes.
That's impossible.
It's impossible, but it did it. It has been sitting in the high 90s to 100%.
That's good.
So this is just something that everybody seems to love. And I hope I love it too this weekend. And then finally, on Max, you can watch Dune and Dune 2, which after the Dune 3 tickets went on sale earlier this week, I'd really like to rewatch those because they are amazing.
And that's what Tyler's watching, brought to you by our friends at Michelson. Can you give me cut 7? because I was going to try to do this last night at the Vestavia High School football game, but I could not pull it off because the cheerleaders ran long with a volleyball game in the afternoon, and then it was too close to the start of the showtime. I didn't have time to change clothes, but I mean, my goodness, it was 99 at kickoff with a heat index 108.
Miserable.
On that turf. It had to be 115. So I was thinking a great night to answer this from Connor O'Gara of the Connor O'Gara Show, which you see every Friday live on the platform, and the OG Kickoff, which is another episode's out today with him and Will. Here's Connor O'Gara.
All right. ALS Ice Bucket Challenge. Brad Crawford challenged me to do it. I accept his challenge. I am not wet from, I swear I haven't done this before. I just ran 5 miles, 94 degrees. Sick brag, no big deal. So yeah, maybe I had a little bit of help with this, but I would like to challenge my brother, Ryan O'Gara, my co-host, Will Ogburn, and my next round mate, Jim Dunaway. Ice Bucket Challenge. Let's freeze.
Okay, throw that on there.
Yeah.
Now, tell me if you see any ice.
Oh, yeah, I see ice.
A little ice, okay.
Yeah, I think you got more water than ice.
Yeah. My big takeaway from this video, though, was what?
Connor's yoked.
All right.
Connor O'Gara's cut up. Connor O'Gara's he doesn't miss arm day.
So done away.
He went to the Josh Pate School of Lift.
So done away.
I was definitely first day at SEC Media Days. He's like, yeah, I got up and got a workout this morning, and then I was like, hey, you're in pretty good shape, man. When you see someone just through like the camera,
yeah,
like,
you never know
virtually,
yeah,
you have no idea if they're in decent shape. So
yeah, I mean, Forrester, you have to admit now we've seen Connor before in person, but we've never seen him in a muscle shirt before. Did that surprise you that he was had those arms?
It did. I was not expecting Connor to be jacked.
Yep, that's what got me. I'm going to do the Ice Bucket Challenge this weekend, hopefully, and I will pass it along. I will not.
Same shirt?
Yeah, that was my
5
question.
5 miles? Or are you running 5 miles beforehand?
No and no.
No, and probably not. I'll probably wear a jacket.
Yeah, he's more likely to run 5 miles than wear a tank top.
Well, you see my arms all the time.
Ah, that's right. Yoked.
You got to show off the tats.
Yeah, show off the
Or the
tat.
tat.
Is that
Singular.
Give me a baseball bat. Is this Bo Jackson?
Yeah. Sun's out, guns out.
You need some shoulder pads, though, Jim.
It's the same thing, right?
Sun's out,
by
guns
the
out.
way, gosh, can you – there's no way for you to go into mentions, right? Let me see if I can send it to you quick, Forrester. On the other side. We'll do it on the other side. We love the entire audience. And some of you sink your teeth into something. Bo Jackson, Sydney Sweeney comment sent to me picture by picture from on social media from one of our viewers. We'll show it to you on the other side. But we'll answer the Ice Bucket Challenge coming up. As we head to break here, tell us about Hemp Hill Brownie, and we'll do trash on the other side.
Hemp Hill Services, lanceslight.com, brought to you by Hemp Hill every single day. And if it doesn't flow right, drain right, or run right, Hemp Hill Services, the one to call for, more than 60 years in Birmingham. That's been the case. 229-2090. 229-2090. That's a 205 area code for our friends at Hemp Hill Services.
When a motorcycle accident turns your world upside down, who's going to look out for your family while you're healing? Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorneys is here for you, fighting for injured riders and getting families the compensation they deserve. The consultation is free. They don't get paid until you do. Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorneys. Call 659-777-7777 or visit alexwins.law. Don't wait. Call 659-777-7777. alexwins.law. Physical offices, Birmingham.
Sterling and the fine folks at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster want to welcome you in for a great lunch or dinner starting at 11 a.m. every day. Chicken that's brined overnight and cooked to order, and the taste of the Delta with those Delta recipe tamales. Champy's is perfect for all your tailgating needs this football season. You can also choose Champy's for your next party, wedding, or birthday. Great food, great people. Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster, and everything online at champyschicken.com.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Never miss anything from the next round when you listen on demand through the podcast platform of your choice, Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcasts, wherever you listen. Always like, follow, subscribe, turn on automatic download so you can catch every part of the next round. Listen anywhere in the world, anytime on the Next Round podcast feed, and support the show by following, subscribing, and turning on automatic downloads on any podcast platform. Listen anywhere in the world, anytime on the Next Round podcast feed. Thanks for always making the next round a big part of your day.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090. Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on the Next Round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at the Next Round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000.
The 2026 Yellowwood 500 weekend is returning to the Talladega Superspeedway Friday, October 23rd through Sunday, October 25th. The triple header chase weekend at Talladega features 3 days of high-intensity racing across 3 series, capping off with the Yellowwood 500 on Sunday. Guarantee your spot now by visiting TalladegaSuperspeedway.com or calling 877-GO-TO-DEGA. And enhance your race weekend by adding passes to the Talladega Garage Experience, the most immersive in NASCAR. 877-GO-TO-DEGA or TalladegaSuperspeedway.com.
Nobody can see TV2, but Dan Orlovsky, best hair on ESPN now. Yes or no?
Off the top of my head, yeah, he's got good hair.
Yeah.
Trying to think of who.
I say that as a bald guy.
Yeah, I think Troy Aikman has good hair, especially for his age.
Yeah.
Who else got good hair? I mean, like all the. I'm just not going like studio hosts. They've all got good hair.
I like Scott Van Pelt.
Yeah, he's got your hair
for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
But
Herb Street looks like he might go frosted tips occasionally, but he's got good hair.
It's been years since Herb Street's gone frosted tips.
I mean,
that's back when the Fast and Furious was chasing DVD players. Look at Orlovsky's hair, man. He's got that salad
that's good hair
stacked up there. I wish I had that.
He's
hair.
one of those though. If he goes too long without a haircut, he can't figure out what to do with it.
Hey, before I show you the picture that I think it was Jody sent us, before I show you that on social media and we get to trash, Kalshi brings us a chance for you to take some positions on NFL games. I gave you such a great winner last night.
Yeah, let's do this again.
You got Jets and Steelers tonight. I don't have a play on that game.
Oh, you're sitting out?
Yeah, but I got to bounce back.
Much like Aaron Rodgers.
Lost last night, but we're going to bounce back tonight.
Right.
Because we always do. I'm very transparent with you. Carolina, Jacksonville, not going to pay attention to that one. Oh, but Packers, Broncos.
Look out.
I think if you look there at
altitude game,
at Kalshi, I think the Broncos are like a 6-point favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Don't forget to use the code TNR, by the way. Packers plus the points.
Packers plus the points.
Packers plus the points.
That's Dunaway's position at Kalshi. You could take a position at Kalshi. Basically, you trade on what you can actually think is going to happen. Like Jim thinks, well, I think the Packers are going to get inside that number. He thinks that's going to happen. That's what you trade on. And it's not just sports. It's also politics, culture. Whatever is on your mind, it is there at Kalshi. You're going up against other traders directly. There's no house settling the odds. It's just people putting their own opinions on the line, and that's what you're going with your opinion against their opinion. Here's what we're going to do for you at Kalshi. Kalshi.com, but we recommend downloading the Kalshi app and using code TNR. You could trade $25 with code TNR, and they'll throw in another $25 instantly. Remember, trade only what you're comfortable with. With Kalshi, Kalshi.com and the Kalshi app, trade $25 with code TNR. They'll throw in another $25 instantly with our friends at Kalshi.
Listen, everybody's got jokes. I know that. I have a not popular opinion when it comes to Sydney Sweeney. I just say it compared to other women.
Right.
I think we make too big a deal about Sydney Sweeney.
Okay.
There are a million beautiful women in our country. Millions of them, more than a million. But occasionally you can, when you're compared like Jody does at Next Round Live at Jim Dunaway, who wears it better? Obviously I choose Sydney Sweeney in this one because it's against Bo Jackson. And
yeah.
Bo doesn't fill out the shoulder pads as well as Sydney Sweeney does.
Does not.
Now Bo's bat's bigger. I will point that out.
Yes, I would agree.
Yep.
Without seeing it.
Yep. Sydney Sweeney, though, her shoulder pads are protecting better assets than. But I'm telling you, I feel like there was a lot of tape used to keep everything under their shoulder pads.
For Bo or for Sydney?
For Sydney.
I think I would agree.
Yeah. So
it's the straps keeping it in where you buckle it in place.
Yeah, I think those straps are fighting.
Yeah,
I think those straps.
And you can adjust the how tight those are.
Yeah, those things have never been adjusted that far out.
Jay says you always brag about going to Champies and getting the two big breasts, but you don't like them from Sydney.
I'm telling you, I've seen better. I've been blessed. How about that?
Well, alrighty then.
Hashtag blessed.
Hashtag.
Well, Troy says he'd drink her bath water, which, I mean, technically you could do that.
Well, yeah, it's for sale.
Yeah, it's for sale.
Yeah.
Well, technically, Troy's an Auburn fan, too, so there's probably a time in his life he would have drank Bo's bath water.
Ew.
Oof.
That'd be nasty.
Well, I tell you what, I'm a Dolphins fan.
Hey,
I'd love to see a Super Bowl.
What has it been now? Has it been 6 years, 5 years? How long has it been since Auburn's beaten Alabama?
2019.
How many years is that? So 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. That's 6 years. It was 9 years, so just 3 more fingers to where we go Bo over the top, and Auburn fans were bathwater thirsty for that win.
They were. Yeah, I would agree with you on that, yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
How much were you about to say you wouldn't ever drink Dan Marino's bathwater?
Dan Marino never won a Super Bowl,
I saw you run from the goal line to the 50 to get your picture taken with Dan Marino.
I didn't run.
Fast
walk.
He looked like the
famous 4.6 40 time.
The famous Bama Fan Day photo
running
out of the tunnel.
Like everything else, Dunaway's overselling.
He was running like a bear was chasing him.
Yeah, like everything else, Dunaway's
running like
overselling.
Dabo for a game.
There are numerous things Dunaway over-exaggerates. This is one of them.
Champy's Chicken brings you this hour. I never over-exaggerates that. If you'd like two, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I do.
Just head down
Chicken
to
fingers.
Champy's Chicken. They're brined overnight, cooked to order, the hand-cut chicken fingers and more. Highway 119 in Alabaster, champy'schicken.com. Let's do trash, Tyler. Hit it, man.
Am I putting too much emphasis on the cock?
Never.
LT's Trash is presented by Bud Light.
Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Our friends at Bud Light. Do we have video of this first story? All right, before I read the story, I want Tyler to play the video, and I just want Dunaway, you to tell me what your reaction will be. Can we do it that way, Tyler? Is that okay? Tyler's going to play this video for story number 1. You tell me this occurs in Tennessee.
Oh, I saw this when it happened,
Yeah.
Yeah.
This occurs in Tennessee. This is Addison Honeycutt is the young lady we're watching here.
Okay, let it play again. Give me the beginning again.
This is a middle school football game in Tennessee.
Yep. Now, first of all, I couldn't tell age-wise.
16.
Okay, she's 16.
That's right.
All right.
And it's at a middle school game.
Middle school game, so the players are younger than that.
So the players are 12, 13, 14.
Addison runs on, makes the tackle.
Yep.
Yeah. So
first off, there are 7 SEC teams right now that should be looking at her to help their defense.
Yeah, we didn't get a good angle. Couldn't tell if it was targeting. I do like the way she just casually walks off the field. Like nothing happened. Not well attended, this middle school game, by the way.
Yep. Late flag.
Ref throws the flag.
Yep.
I think he threw that flag on the other coach, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, what did that kid have to be thinking? Like, what?
Yeah.
Where did that come from? What's happening?
Well, here's the story. That is Addison Honeycutt. She's 16. She's been charged with assault and disorderly conduct after running onto the field and tackling a player in that game. She says she was defending her younger brother from what her attorney describes as abuse on the field.
Yep. So they were picking on a little guy on the other team.
Yeah. Well, she said she watched as another player grabbed her brother's face mask and slung him around several times. When she saw her brother hit in the ribs, she said she'd seen enough.
You know, this is almost. I mean, I'm no. Who wrote To Kill a Mockingbird?
That'd be Harper Lee.
I'm no Harper Lee, but I think I could just. I think I could turn this into a nice tale of brother and sister love. That's just a good old country girl right there,
Defending
taking up
her
for her little brother.
Yeah.
She's got shoes on, though, but if she was barefoot, this would be such a great, iconic picture.
Her brother's probably never going to hear the end of it.
Yeah. Can't fight your own battles. Your sister got to do it.
That's right.
Your sister ain't here to help you now.
Your sister tackles better than you do.
Well, who's that little kid running around? What's going on at this game?
I don't think she understands what happens on a football field if she
I
feels
agree.
like he's getting picked on.
I agree.
He got hit in the ribs? Oh, that happens in
No,
football.
it grabbed his face mask. It was obviously these pants, these short-wearing pant officials missed a little altercation afterwards.
But you know what's not going to make you tougher? Your sister coming out of the stands. You're right. Where did this little kid come from? What is he? Hey, look at him. He's telling people to get back.
Yeah.
The kid's the get back coach.
Do you think those officials could make it? If they broke out an 80-yard touchdown run, how long would it take the officials to catch up?
They're never
going
to see him cross the goal line. I would like us. I know it's middle school football, but I think we need to be a little more protective of who we let on the sidelines. We got people all over the place.
Yeah, there's got to be an SRO somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere.
Yeah, I would.
Ryan just got tased.
I'm going to say this.
That was also middle school.
I know.
The poker game I play in every Monday night, or most Monday nights, has wrestling on. It's the only time I ever watch wrestling.
Okay.
It's on Netflix. This looks like a wrestling bit.
Yeah.
Like the refs always have their back turned when something nefarious is happening behind them.
That's right.
Watch this. The refs are gonna, as this starts to happen, watch this. The refs are all getting together. Everybody's got their back turned, and here she comes out of the stands. Boom. Nobody sees what happens, and now they're like, "Whoa, let me push this coach off this kid."
That's
Wait,
right.
what's this girl doing in the ring here?
Why is there an aluminum chair laying right here?
Yeah. Oh my God, who's got the axe?
You asked who the little kid was. Troy in the chat said, "I thought it was Auburn's newest football player for a second."
Yeah.
there.
All of a sudden, Trey Taylor's out on the field.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. I mean, she's got to be charged with something.
Well, she was charged.
But
with
she's
assault and
16.
contact. Yep.
As an adult or a minor?
It's gotta be a
we know her
minor.
name.
Yeah. We didn't even make it a minor.
I agree with Jace in the chat. She might be 16, but this looks like the kind of girl that smokes Marlboro Reds out in the parking lot.
Yeah. I am surprised.
You don't mess with her.
I am surprised her cigarettes and lighters did not fall onto the field as she was making the tackle. Yeah. Her vape did probably, though. Good for her.
Good for her.
Taking up for her brother.
Yeah. As you know, what's not going to make her brother tougher? His sister doing this.
I think she could avoid jail time if.
This will get dismissed. She'll apologize.
To avoid jail time, they should make her line up and do Oklahoma with the opposing team that she tackled.
She'll apologize. Here's the way this will play out. We'll have an update on this. She'll apologize. They'll ban her from the rest of the middle school calendar there.
Wait.
And this all be
Yeah, so she was banned from all school events, and
she'll apologize.
She came out in a news conference and said that she she blacked out.
And the way this world goes, she'll go to her own podcast. She'll start her own
100%
podcast.
she's starting a podcast after this.
We'll take this outside. Take it outside. Take it outside.
Cash me outside.
Cash me outside. How about that?
Yeah. Listen. Or spit on that thing. That was another one, right?
Hawk Tua. She got caught in the crypto scam.
Yeah, what's she up to now? Nothing.
Cash Me Outside girl turned into a whole music career.
Can I just ask a question here?
Yeah.
Did she drive the little brother to the game? I mean, is there a parent involved
I
here?
really no. Yeah, the mom was in the stands. I got the update on that.
I mean, at some point, okay, I've got a younger son and a daughter who's older.
Yep.
If I'm at a game and Carter was playing and Harper has dashed onto the field, at some point, my parent radar would have gone up and I would have gotten out of my seat and probably at least at this point been on the field.
Mom says, I'm seeing my son on the ground being attacked. This wasn't just a football play. This is him on the ground being physically attacked by his other player. Addison said, this is the girl, her intent was not to target the other player without cause. I wasn't going after this kid just to go after him. That wasn't my intention at all. It kind of looks that way.
Yeah. But they threw a flag, so maybe they did call targeting.
Seeing what they were doing to him and no one stopping it, that kind of made me the last choice. Somebody has to stop this. Yeah, that's not the way to handle that.
Where was this?
Tennessee.
Yeah.
Shockingly, it says in Middle Tennessee.
She is a little.
Yeah.
She's a half cat, half bear, isn't she?
Yeah. Half bear, the other half cat. It says Middle Tennessee. That does look like MTSU playing. A person who bought a stuffed animal head for $70 has found that it is actually a rare tiger worth more than $84,000. God, that is ugly. That's a stuffed animal? Oh, it's a stuffed. It's not a stuffed animal you sleep with in the bed. This is like a taxidermy stuffed animal.
Right. Yeah. The person thought they were buying a stuffed fox head with googly eyes, and turns out it's a specimen of a Tasmanian tiger, which is now extinct.
James Cranfield, Essex, England, purchased what he thought was a stuffed fox head at auction, as Tyler said. According to the Telegraph, the piece had a $39 reserve on it. He bought it for $70, but it is worth $84,000 because it wasn't what the seller thought it was. It turned out to be the head of a now extinct Tasmanian tiger, which the buyer had been able to identify by looking at the teeth. Cranfield told the Telegraph it's an incredibly rare thing, one of a kind, a holy grail for his collection.
That's what I would say.
If that's your collection.
Yep. I would sell that with my Cooper flag
for $1 million
patch card. Yeah.
Me too.
Very dog looking.
Yeah, so it's a
bad dog.
It's like a tiger mixed with a wild dog almost, and it's also a marsupial. So carries little ones in the pouch, and went extinct. I want to say 1920s. The Bronx Zoo had a specimen for a while, and then once that one died, they have not been able to find any more.
Wow.
Yeah, I think we can do without this animal though. That doesn't look like it adds
So
much.
I see tiger stripes, but you're right. It gets a little kangaroo-ish there for a second.
We've lived just fine without this animal. I think we're good. I don't think we need that one back.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, not really. That kind of scares me.
The thylacine is the official name for it.
Thylacine?
Thylacine.
If they were domesticated, Lance would have one.
He would. Crazy. He loves crazy dogs.
Yeah.
Tennessee woman has filed a federal lawsuit in an attempt to regain the ability to swim with dolphins in Hawaii. Tua? She said she previously used this as a form of therapy. I hope she doesn't watch the real dolphins. She'll never recover. Catherine Gatsimos is challenging the NOAA regulation that prevents people from swimming with or deliberately approaching Hawaiian spinner dolphins within 50 yards in waters close to the main Hawaii Islands.
Well, I'm okay.
Very specific rule they have there.
I'm okay if she swims with them. I don't like her going to second base with them.
Yeah. Stick that one to prom. According to the lawsuit, she began using dolphin-assisted therapy following a traumatic event in 2015. She claims the experience has benefited her mental health and that she would resume them if the current restrictions were removed. However,
where's his flippers? What I want to know.
Getting that close to the animals has been prohibited since a new rule came into effect in 2021. She's not asking for a personal exemption. She wants to challenge the entire rule and have it undone. Probably a good reason we have that rule, I'd have to guess, but I don't know. Never lived in Hawaii. I watch the Dolphins every Sunday, though. They'll always let you down, Tyler. Very painful dealing with dolphins.
I'd much prefer to see these kind of dolphins than your dolphins.
Were you just quoting Hootie and the Blowfish?
I don't believe that that's what he meant in those lyrics, that the dolphins always make me cry. I think that kind of became an urban legend. Now he's embraced it. I don't think he's as big a fan as he paints himself to be. Darius Rucker. He says now that that's what those lyrics meant. The dolphins make me cry. I don't believe that.
Post Malone did a cover of it and changed it to saying the Cowboys make me cry.
Yeah,
You're so condescending sometimes.
I'm not
You're telling
Fans
Darius
often
Rucker.
thought it meant saving marine life, but Rucker has clarified he meant football heartbreak from watching the Miami Dolphins.
I never heard it, Jim, until the Dolphins got good. The one time they got good under Mike McDaniel, and we were playing a Sunday night game against the Steelers, and he was interviewed before the game, and they did a piece on That's What I Meant in the Lyrics. And I'm like, that song's been out for 25 years. I've been a Dolphins fan the whole time. I've never heard it.
I think the song came out in 1996, and instantly I thought I heard that he was such a huge Dolphins fan. So Dolphins always make me cry.
Dolphins probably hits better than Gamecocks.
Yeah, probably.
October, though.
He could have
He
shortened it.
doesn't cry in October.
He could have shortened it.
Yeah, I'm just saying that I think, I mean, I was a functioning single adult when the song came out, and
Oh, wait a minute. I'm told Dan Marino's in the video.
yeah.
Okay. I
It
don't
says
believe that.
after a real-life phone call with his mother, during which he was in a miserable, tearful mood because the Dolphins were losing, he wrote the line. And that is from the official Genius meaning.
But of course, condescending Brown is going to tell Darius Rucker what he meant by writing
I wasn't saying that.
line
I'm just
in the
saying I
song.
think he's changed the
No,
meaning.
that is literally exactly what you said.
No.
But Dan Marino was
No.
in the music
No.
video?
Well, I
Yeah.
didn't know Dan Marino was in the video when I said that. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I don't remember the music video to that.
Yeah, you need these hot takes when we're on the Sport and State platform.
I'll bring it back Monday.
Yeah. Making judgments without facts.
By the way, our final story, $50,000 Uno World Championship is underway. You can enter the Uno World Championship, potentially bag yourself a $50,000 top prize and a championship belt. Look how happy she is to have it.
I think Lance would be good at this.
He says he can't beat him in Uno. For a lot of people, making serious money off your gaming skills isn't that realistic. Could be for you if you're good at Uno. They got a World Championship winner taking home a $50,000 prize. The qualifying has started here in August. Free weekly tournaments on the Uno mobile app up until September 27th, so you have time to get involved if you want to. If you'd rather face your opponents in person, they've got in-person qualifiers in Florida, Chicago, California, and October. And then November 11th, the finals are in Los Angeles. And you win it all, you win $50,000 and a belt. Suitable for wearing to church on Sunday. Wouldn't look bad at all.
I wonder what rules they play under, though. Because there's different house rules that people will play with Uno.
Yeah, sometimes you can't play back-to-back skips or stuff like that.
see,
different people.
I like
some real rules.
There
I
are
like
actual
playing where you can stack the draw twos and draw fours.
Yeah.
Like you play a red draw two, and then I play a blue draw two. Now Jim's got to pick up four. Or like Jim plays a draw four, and then you play a draw four, and now I got to pick up 8.
I think in the official rules it says you cannot stack those. Is that
Well,
correct?
they're wrong.
Oh, see,
Much like Darius
are you gonna
Rucker
get on Tyler
talking
for
about
being
the Dolphins
condescending?
crying,
Yeah.
the Uno Corporation is
Listen to
wrong
how
here.
condescending Tyler sounds.
As you mispronounce Guno, though, it made me
Guno.
think of a new game where you get the mob, and you come up with a new game, and you call it Guno, and you have different mob figures there
that's
for
right.
different.
Yeah. Oh my God, he played a Victor Caliente. I'm dead.
I can't think of a mob person's name. Machine Gun Kelly.
Machine Gun Kelly
is the only one that came to mind for me. That's our show today. We're back with you on Monday, 9 a.m. Central Time, 10 o'clock Eastern. That'll be our first technically official day on Sport and State, correct?
That is correct, yes.
Yeah, and Lance will be back. And so we're going 4 hours on Monday. Is that correct?
Also correct.
Okay. Is everybody in agreement with that? 4
Yes.
hours on Monday.
Yeah, I think everybody's on that.
Forrester, you've got a good graphics package ready to go Monday.
Yes, he does. Wait till you see him. Quality.
Yeah.
Can't wait for Monday. And thanks for being with us on this wild ride we call life. We're back with you then. Until next time, God bless you. God bless America.